written in its place. Confusion reigned in the 1930s when all the scorecards were collated with the 1869 date being changed to 1868. But vintage newspaper reports from the local press confirmed that 1869 was indeed the correct year. The station hole, a 166-yard par 3 on Pressbrook's original 12-hole layout, is where the ace was made. Young Tom Morris was 18 years old at the time and would go on to defeat the 13 other players in the field by 9 shots. He even beat his father, old Tom Morris, by 23 shots. A year earlier, young Tom became the youngest champion in tournament history at 17, a record that stands today. He went on to win 4 Open Championships in a row. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports.
Feeding your passion for local sports in the afternoon. It's the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Draper on your radio at 1140 a.m.
Streaming audio at SactownSports.com and the Sactown Sports app.
You can also watch the show on YouTube at Sactown Sports 1140. Here are the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Draper.
We have to start with applause for Jay Johnson. Drape's not with us today. He's back tomorrow. But over the weekend, of course, big holiday weekend. Hope you had a great one. We had the Jug Life for Water game Saturday at Sutter Health Park, and my sources tell me that Jay knocked it out of the park as your MC.
I appreciate that, young white G.
That's what I hear, and I have no reason to doubt it.
Oh, yeah.
So congrats. How was it?
It was fun, man. It was definitely fun. It was very enjoyable. We got good weather.
Yeah.
I won't say great because it depends on who you're asking for great. Like, you know, some people love the 70 to 70, 79 tropical stuff, but I'm good. Long as it wasn't 100, you know, I believe it was high 90s. If didn't feel that bad, to be completely honest. A lot of great things happened that day. A lot of great people. I met some people that I have not met.
Wow.
Had great discussions.
That's
with
rare
people.
for you, huh?
Sometimes. Just depends on the, you know, in what dynamic we're in. But I got to meet Troy Daniels, you know, guys that I haven't shook hands with, you know, eye to eye. And so I had a great time, man. It seemed like everybody was pleasantly surprised by the outcome of, you know, just the total outcome of people being at the game. And man, I loved it. I really enjoyed it. I like doing stuff like that. I really do, man.
Yeah,
I really do. Like, I'm the type of person like sometimes I come in here, you know, we're talking and we can be dynamic. We can, you know, sometimes you have to you be a little serious. You know, we like to have fun here on the Drive Guys, but when I'm out on the field, I don't care if I'm playing or not, man, I turn up. Like the lights bring the best out of me. Oh yeah, man. The lights bring, that's so many people. And shouts out to the fans and listeners who came up to me, dapped me up, shook hands, you know, really enjoyed the day. But a lot of people was like, dang, Jay, I didn't know you get down like that.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, dude, you only hear 10% of what I'm giving every single day with the Drive Guys. I said, I let Whitey and Drapers do what they're supposed to do. You know, that's there. I'm the third voice. I just pop in when I need to. But when you put the mic in my hand, brother, I'm going to go.
How, what kind of player is Mike Brown?
Mike play right center for Team White, which was my squad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was representing Team White, and Tristy Rodriguez of NBC Sports was my co-MC, my counterpart, and she was Team Black, you know.
Yeah.
And it happened organically.
Was JaVale's team?
JaVale's was Team White.
Okay.
Yeah. And Matt Barnes was Team Black. And so it happened organically. We just so happened to pick our shirts, and I had white on, she had black. So I looked across the field, and I just, you know, put it out there. Let's have a friendly competition. Let's get it done. And so, yeah, Mike, you can tell Mike had some type of athleticism. I'm not saying he doesn't now, but you can tell he played something along the line. You know, I don't know if that's handball. I don't know if that's foursquare. I don't know if that's well, I know it too, but you know, you can definitely tell he has some athleticism. Then you also know he's sharp and educated. Because he was like, listen, the first time he hit, he ran. He actually ran the bases. I believe he got to hit the, you know, a little punch and Judy over the infield. Sure. I believe. And then the second time he got smart. You know, as I was talking, I called him money bag Mike. He had all the money weighing him down. In the pocket. So the speed wasn't there. The jets weren't turned on, as we know, Mike. So he had somebody, I believe he had Marcus D. Smith of the Sac B run for him. The second time, and the third time he had
courtesy runner.
Yeah, courtesy. He had Corey Vaughn's son, I think his name was Malachi, if I'm not mistaken. And I hope I got that right. Malachi Vaughn, Corey Vaughn, Greg Vaughn, the Vaughn family had ran from him. But he's got something to him. He's definitely got something to him.
Did Greg Vaughn play?
No.
Okay,
Corey Vaughn is family.
Yeah.
So Corey's son, which would be what Greg's grandson, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Glad you had a great time.
Yeah, man. But how was the Bay Area, brother?
That was great. And you mentioned the weather, and I sent you a picture of the
man.
Bay
I thought you were playing
Gate Bridge.
I literally thought you painted that picture at first.
Yeah.
Where were you take that picture at?
That was from the Presidio Lodge at the Presidio where we were staying.
Okay.
For our anniversary and Father's Day, and it was right out the window. It's like boom, there it is, the Golden Gate Bridge, and it was it's just like. This is weird for San Francisco. There's no fog.
No fog.
No fog.
Literally, that's why I said I thought you painted that picture.
Yeah.
I thought you and Mrs. Gleason were outside with a couple of easels in the road.
A little al fresco.
Yeah, little shower shoes, slippers. And you guys were out there, painting on the easel.
Yeah. It was very nice.
It was, man. Super nice.
Very nice.
Goodness, that's one of the it was picturesque,
as
they say.
Yeah,
it definitely was picturesque.
Yeah, I got to tell you this: we go to Sausalito. We had dinner in Sausalito on Saturday.
Okay,
and it's right on the water. I'm not going to mention the place.
Sure,
beautiful place, and we had reservations for 7. Right, so we get there a little before 7, and there's a lot of people there, of course. And the guy says, "All right, yeah, we'll get you in 7 or a little after." And I thought, okay, I mean that happens sometimes.
Yeah, of course.
So we're waiting, and it gets to be about 7. And we're talking to these people who actually they were from Switzerland. Ooh. And they were complaining because they said they had a reservation for 6:30. They hadn't gotten in yet. So we knew we were going to be there a while.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think that's Yelpable, right? I mean,
of course,
I owe it to the other people that might be subjected to that next weekend and the weekends to come to go on Yelp and point this out.
Please do. And this is the other part about Yelp and Google reviews and stuff like this. White is this. You don't necessarily, and I believe, you could correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think you have to gauge like stars, but you can still leave a review without giving the stars. I might be wrong, but I feel like you can do that.
Okay, I understand. I've done some on there. I don't recall. I mean, the food was definitely good.
Okay.
The service was great, but we didn't get in there till
8.
It was probably around 8, a little after 8.
I could see 8 in your eyes just from over
7
here.
7 o'clock. Reservation
on Father's Day, though. Father's Day weekend, a lot going on.
And then tell us that when we make the reservation, right?
Yeah. I guess you can come with a disclaimer. I hear where you're coming.
So, no reservations. We're going to be so full. You get here when you can. We'll do what we can. Okay, great.
Yeah. Now, was it just you and the missus, or was the family? Okay, got you. So it wasn't like you guys had K and Co. Yeah. Yeah, it's tough though. Those type of holidays and situations, the Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day, stuff like that. It gets a little busy, man.
I know.
It does. And
I know.
I understand what you're saying though. That's the point of making a reservation.
Yes.
And so I'm not sitting here for a full hour twiddling my thumbs, looking at San Francisco Giants and Oakland A's highlights and stuff like things like you don't want to do. Like you don't have to do. So.
But it was such a nice time. It was like, this is inconvenient, but we're good. We're fine. We had a good time anyway.
Man, as you guys should. I'm glad you did. Did you get to see K and Co?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Saw that.
Beautiful. Absolutely.
Yesterday, saw both daughters yesterday. Had a great time. Hope you had a good Father's Day.
I did, man. I didn't really do much. Saturday.
Get away. From what you were telling us. Like, leave me alone. It's Father's Day.
Yeah. You know what? Saturday, from the moment I jumped up to the moment I went to bed. I didn't go to bed till like 3 a.m. Saturday. It was so many different things between getting up. I went to go play a little softball, with the squad, all-star squad. We had a little batting practice and I had to get to the house, get ready for JaVale stuff. That was all day situation. I didn't get out of there to, 7:30 or whatever. Then I went to go watch the boxing fight, Uncle House. Then after that, they had a after party for JaVale's thing. So it was just a beautiful day, man. It was really a beautiful day. Good. Great situation. Loved it.
Good. Yeah. Good. Now we got the NBA Finals resuming tonight. I've got a stat here, a factoid really more than a statistic. And I want to warn you because it might actually you might fall over. This is so stunning. You're just going to go, no way. Jaylen Brown, if he wins the Finals MVP award, which he could, who knows? He should. Looks like the way it's going now. If Jaylen Brown wins the Finals MVP award, he will be the first guy to win the Finals MVP award without a shoe deal in 45 years. No one has been a Finals MVP, NBA Finals MVP, without a shoe deal. Has been MVP since Dennis Johnson in 1979. To me, the biggest thing is how does Jaylen Brown not have a shoe deal?
I could see it, and there's a difference between a shoe deal and an equipment deal, meaning he is a flagship player.
Uh-huh.
I'm really sitting here going back. I mean, the last 10 years, for the most part, have been KD, LeBron, Steph. So they all have one.
Right.
Giannis has one.
Iguodala had a shoe deal? Okay. He was a good player.
That's what I'm saying. That one right there, I don't remember Iguodala had no shoe deal. Now,
I want to say Fila, but I have
no
idea.
Now, and this is what we're talking about. Does that mean he has a deal to be a spot, like an advertise, a sponsor of that brand, or does he have a flagship shoe?
Well, I think I took it to mean like I'm sure he gets all the free shoes he wants.
Yes.
But hi, I'm Jaylen Brown for the so-and-so.
Yeah.
He doesn't have that.
Iguodala didn't have that.
He may have.
We gotta look that up.
Yeah.
Who said that? Where are you getting this? Give me the reference. Who's your sources?
I don't remember where I saw it. I think it was Hoops Hype. I'll have to look it up.
Okay.
Yeah. I should have looked it up, but you know what? It's such a great fact. I didn't even think to question it. I was like, man, that's awesome. I can't wait to talk about that.
And sometimes it gets a little tricky because, some of these guys, and I'll say like Klay Thompson, we'll talk about Klay today. Klay is overseas. I believe he's an Anta guy.
Uh-huh.
Which is a Chinese company. I believe, Anta. He's an Anta guy. And so like Iguodala might have had something like that, but I'm pretty much up on my shoe game. And I don't remember Iguodala having a flagship shoe from anybody. Yeah, because that was I don't even remember.
I'm telling you, it was Fila.
Nah, he ain't had no Fila. He ain't had no Fila, man. I mean, I can name a lot of folks who have Fila. He didn't have one. No Fila shoe.
Well, if it's true, it's still a great fact, though, right? Isn't it stunning? If it's true,
we got to get. But see, it might not be. We got to start counting down. Now we need to get into like 2010s.
According to reports, if I say it that way, it's true because the reports say it. According to a report, Jaylen Brown will be the first MVP of the finals without a shoe deal in 45 years.
NBA Finals MVP. This is my destiny today.
All right.
To see if this is true.
Okay.
Because I'm thinking off the top of my head as I go by. I can't think of Jokic having a shoe. Like who was Nikola Jokic? Can you get the Nikola Jokic's? Yeah, I don't know. We need to see Hoops Hype sources because I can't think of that.
We'll get to the bottom of it.
Yeah.
I'm just rolling with it, but Jay's making me look it up. So we'll do that. Also, the Celtics. I'm still not sure this thing's over yet, Jay. And I picked the Celtics. So when we come back, Celtics trying to avoid becoming the Rory McIlroys of the NBA with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead.
Get your Kings fix all season long right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
It's the ride everybody wants to be driving, and Elk Grove Kia has them in stock right now. I'm talking about the 2024 Kia Telluride. And my friends at Elk Grove Kia can get you behind the wheel of a 2024 Telluride SX for only $419 a month, plus taxes and fees. Whenever I see one of these driving down the road or next to me at a red light, I just stop and admire it because the Kia Telluride just looks iconic. And not only is the Kia Telluride beautiful, it's got room for the whole family. There's a seating capacity for up to 7 passengers. Plus, it's loaded with tech. So is the 2024 Kia Telluride the right ride for you and your family? Come on down to Elk Grove Kia and the Elk Grove Auto Mall. Give it a test drive. And just a heads up, when you're here at Elk Grove Kia, you're going to be treated very well. You're not going to get this kind of car buying experience in Roseville, Vacaville, Sacramento, or Davis. That's why Elk Grove Kia has so many 5-star reviews. Again, check them out in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or online, elkgrovekia.com. 24-month lease, $0 security deposit, 20 cents per mile over 10,000 miles per year, $4,999 due at signing based on approval of credit. VIN number 501850, ends June 30th, 2024.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Here we go, Jay. This report that Jaylen Brown could become the first Finals MVP without a shoe deal comes to us via, I saw it on Hoops Hype. They cited the New York Times, and Jay points out, he says, well, that could be The Athletic. And in fact, it is from Mike Vorkunov in The Athletic. And he talks about sneaker deals or rite of passage in the league. Let's see. Brown's been under contract with Adidas until his deal ran out in 2021. Since then, he's been a free agent.
So, yeah, he's saying he doesn't have an equipment deal at all, which when you say a shoe deal, it means, so there's like 3 levels to this, Whitey. I'm not sure if you're that familiar with how it operates. Mm-hmm. When you're an athlete, you are a flagship person. That's the LeBrons, the Stephs. They have their own shoe or their own model shoe, right? And I thought about Jokic as soon as we got off. He's with 361 degrees. So I remember that one. And after, then you have a person who has a deal with a brand.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of players. A lot of players have deals with brands, and they are, I don't want to say they're required because they're not, but they normally pick a shoe that they like within that brand somewhere along the lines, and they normally rock different PE player editions of the shoes. Then you have an equipment deal, which is all I do. They give the player an allotment as the athlete, and you as an athlete get a card, kind of like a credit card, and you can go into, Adidas, you can go into these places and spend all the money off this card, off this allotment, and they provide you with equipment to play your sport, if that makes sense. And then you have someone, which it sounds like Jaylen Brown has nothing.
Right.
He buys his own shoes, quote unquote, I air quote, buys his own shoes. Mm-hmm. But as you said, that's probably me calling a couple of my guys and they send me, what in reality, you know what it means? You can wear anything, anytime you want. And we've seen players do this quite often, looking for, like Kyrie was a big free agent after Nike dropped him, and he was wearing all kind from Prada to Nike to, Li Ning to all these different ones until he settled on what he did.
Jaylen Brown had been under contract with Adidas until his deal ran out in 2021. Since then, he's been a free agent. This month, he's worn a pair of Nikes in every game. He wore Kyrie Irving's Anta sneakers during the All-Star game. So, yeah, according to The Athletic and Mike Vorkunov, he could be the first player in at least 45 years to win the NBA Finals Most Valuable Player without a shoe deal.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Basically, he's a free agent. He can wear anything he wants. He doesn't even have an equipment deal right now. He can wear my brand, your brand, his brand, and everybody else's brand. And as you said, he wore Nike this. In the finals, he wore Anta, which Kyrie's now the vice president of development or whatever for Anta. That was part of his his contract. We talk about Klay Thompson, 361, of course, Kobe, like all these different brands who have flagship guys and guys who are part of their company. So he's a total free agent. That's interesting.
Yeah. So now the way Rory was unable to seal the deal yesterday at the U.S. Open, is that another indication that the Celtics, while it looked like they had this thing locked up, they got destroyed on Friday. And as I've been trying to tell Jay, this thing could still become a series, right, Jay?
No.
This thing is not over yet.
It's over. It's over. They got the gentleman sweep. Boston wanted to bring it home to Boston.
No Kristaps Porzingis, it would appear tonight.
It sounds
that's
like
not
that
official,
way.
But that's the way
it sounds like
leaning.
He couldn't warm up properly. Right? He's not getting the leg is not warming up to the best of his ability.
I wouldn't be surprised if whenever this is done, 2 weeks later, we hear, oh yeah, he had surgery to repair the rare thing. I mean, I don't know, but it wouldn't surprise me.
How else is this thing going to get repaired? This is so rare. We don't even really know how to approach it. But if in the way it's the casing around his joints and tendons,
yeah.
Right? the casing, the wrap around it.
Yeah.
That's broken, like the cord around it.
Torn.
Yeah, it's torn.
So you got tendons flapping around where they're not supposed to.
So if that's that to me, you got to suture it up, repair it. That's called surgery.
Right.
It's not a bone. It's probably not going to heal on itself.
Hey, if you ever had to have a surgery where they could put a piece of a cadaver in, would you do it? You know, some things like, okay, what type of surgery would that be? Okay,
like
we could take something from your hip and put it in there, which is going to be like twice the pain for you because you'll have a surgery in 2 places. Or we could take something from a cadaver and stick it in there. Would you go the cadaver route? I don't know. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, let me say this: if it's going to allow me to live, yes.
Well, yeah.
I mean, come on now. Yeah, absolutely.
But if you had a choice,
depends on what it is. You know, I have a bunch of friends that I played with, grew up with, who have had cadavers for ACLs because they'll have one and then tear it again. And then it becomes either you could take it from your own joint, you know, or your own muscle or whatever.
Yeah.
Or you can get a cadaver. And I've had some friends like, I mean, you know, I just got the cadaver. Forget it. Like you said, I'm not going through the whole situation of cutting my hamstring and stuff.
That reminds us, it's a very sad story. And I know now we're far afield here, but Carson Palmer, when he had to have a knee surgery and he got a knee tendon from a young lady who had perished in a car accident, and he got to know that the family.
I kind of remember that.
And they were like, oh, you know, that's just so cool that it's tragic, but that at least, you know, something of her physically went to use. And then he tore it again.
Yeah. Okay.
And then it was like, they were all just, oh man, that's the saddest thing ever.
Yeah. I mean, it just depends on what it is.
Yeah.
And it depends on the situation that I'm in. But if it's, you know, if it means that I'm going to be living, yeah, please.
Yeah. But I could just see these Celtics. We've talked about it. We know it. They get in their own way. They had Jaylen Brown after Friday saying, we have to play like our life depends on it, because it does. That to me is a recipe for coming out tonight just tight as a drum.
Yeah.
We have to play as if our life depends on it. And if they do play that way and Dallas is out there like, you know what, we figured something out Friday, Jay, then the Celtics all of a sudden they're sitting there going, man, we're going to be the next Rory McIlroys of the NBA. We're going to blow this thing.
I think Jalen's just saying it because he knows where the Celtics have been over the last, 4 or 5 years, and he's got to go out there and say things so people like us don't talk about, the Celtics are ho hum, they're not worried, they're too comfortable. Like, it's really a no-win situation, and so what you do is you go with the PC answer.
Yeah.
Oh, like, we have to be on our best game. We know what it is. We know what it all means. We know how it is to take take a team out. I've heard it 1,000 times. The hardest W is the last W, right? To get. And so I'm not saying that the Celtics can't come out there all relaxed, loosey-goosey, and let the Mavs get some confidence. But I just don't see the Mavs beating the Celtics 3 more times in a row. And I said it last week, I just don't see them beating 4 times in a row. The Celtics would absolutely, now you talking about tight, super tight. I mean,
like can't dribble the ball.
Yes. I'm talking about, driving a Cadillac, trying to park in a compact spot tight. Like there's no way the Celtics can get that tight for the next 3 games. And if it does, man, it would be the ultimate blown lead, and watch what comes their way. Like, they would have to break this up.
I think so.
Tear it down. Yeah.
Yes.
I just don't see it, though. I can't see it. Again, Luka's too banged up. The Mavs needed one. The Mavs lost to the 2011 championship team in Game 3. They owed everybody in Dallas a win, and I thought Boston. Sometimes, and I've been in this situation as a player, Whitey, and I don't know if you've been in this situation, it is better to clinch it at home. Like, it feels better. You don't want it to play out that way because you want to win. You don't want to take anything for granted. But there's a propensity to kind of ease up a touch where it's like, you know what? I know I'm going back home. I got 2 more shots. I'm good.
Right. I'm not surprised Dallas won. I think we both said Friday, Dallas probably win. But I'm a little surprised they won that easily. But, of course, it really doesn't matter. If the
grand scheme of things,
it does not matter.
You think they take care of it tonight? Or you think they're gonna? You said it might be 4-2. Now you're sneaking, and not in the beginning of the series. We're talking about as a Friday. You're like, look, I could see Dallas getting 2.
You're not going to give me this, but I said I thought the series would go. I said 5.5.
Yes.
Remember that?
Yes.
So, yeah, this is I know I said 6, but to me, if Boston doesn't win tonight, they're in real trouble.
Really?
Yeah. If you don't win tonight, then you got to go back there. Yeah. But they should win tonight. They're still the better team. It's just they have that knack of getting in their own way, and they all know it.
So if it comes 4-2, you think Boston is in trouble?
You mean if it has to go back?
Yes, Dallas.
I think potentially they are.
Wow.
Yeah. If you lose these two, you lose this chance to clinch at home. That leaves a mark. But it's also an opportunity stretched out before them.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Here I am saying, they could be in trouble if they lose this game. Yeah, but if they win tonight, they're the champions.
It's over.
Yeah. And they get banner number 18 and all of that.
Well, it's a lot of people clamoring for them not to get banner 18. I see a lot of the folks in SoCal crying, whining. It's like, man, put a cap on that stuff. Lakers crying. You got 17 banners in that weak little in-season tournament miniature banner. That you like. Why do you have a man cave, or do you have anything in the house where you've got a jersey display?
I don't have jerseys. I have autographs and baseballs and basketballs.
Okay, so
I have an area. Yeah.
Okay, there's a difference. Like I'm a huge jersey guy. So you have your jersey display. Have you ever seen like a shirt display? Where
no.
it's smaller, it's kind of a little bit bigger than maybe an 8x11 frame, feel like, and it's not the same size of a jersey display. That's what that in-season tournament. That's what they hung.
Yeah,
you got all these jerseys, but then you put this T-shirt up here.
It's an embarrassment.
Yeah, it's like, and they're still crying because the Celtics are, probably gonna get banner number 18. But you got 18. You just got a jersey. I mean, you just got a T-shirt up there. Who was that on the show that was like, oh, they didn't want to hang it, but the league asked them. It was somebody from Lakers. I can't remember, but
that's right.
Yeah, they didn't want to hang it,
but the league wanted
them to. So in good spirits, good faith, they did it. Man, be quiet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's another reason to root for the Celtics tonight. If you're a Kings fan,
got that T-shirt up there.
Yeah. What about Roy? That big choke job. Did you think he acted like a loser by just going home?
Yeah, he did.
He did.
You got to you got to take the smoke, baby.
It's okay to lose. It's not okay to act like a loser.
Yeah, you got to take the smoke.
Right. As painful as it is.
And I think it was Scott Van Pelt who was talking about, he had a couple of different instances where, like the Greg Norman fallout at the Masters, how at nighttime he did the interview, whatever. Phil Mickelson, when he hit the tent a couple years back, he did the, post interview, and he was like, hey, I'm a dummy. I made a mistake, or whatever he called himself. Like, and Rory's kind of been one of those people. He's kind of, because I don't know him, but he seems smug. He comes across as being smug to me, right? And as much as he was very thorough about, like, I'm never joining Live, and I'd never cross over to PGA, and it wasn't his fault, because the PGA had some workings behind closed door that he probably didn't know about. And, look, what is he supposed to do? Not play golf because PGA and Live came together? I don't blame him for that. But I always felt, even in that situation, it was just like he was thumbing his nose at people, to me, and I'm not saying, Bryson DeChambeau, and I believe Scotty Scheffler went over there, and Xander Schauffele, like some guys who had went over to play for Live. I'm not saying they was hurting for money, but man, it's difficult. It's like all kind of people have different, lifestyles. We don't know what these people needed in their life.
I think you hit the nail on the head with Rory, the way he acted. Who knows why? And I'm sure it's very painful, but it's easy to look at that and go, this guy just thinks he's above having to do what most people would do in that situation, even when they didn't want to.
Yeah, a little bit. I can see that.
Mm-hmm. When we come back, NBA free agency could actually start tonight, and the Kings have had some interesting workouts going on this weekend. That and more next. Jay and Whitey, Drive Guys, Sactown Sports.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out SactownSports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SactownSports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It's bright, it's breezy for this Monday, and it's that north wind that's going to elevate fire danger once again this afternoon. So just be mindful of that. North winds expected to gust 30 to 35 through early evening. Daytime highs will peak in the upper 80s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Coach Doug Christie here to remind you, if you're in the market for a new car, shop Folsom Lake Kia. Low interest rates, low payments, and zero down deals with approval of credit. Folsom Lake Kia, over 25 years, right here in Folsom.
NBA basketball returns to Golden One Center this July 6th, 7th, and 9th for the California Classic Summer League Games. 3-day passes in the lower level start at just $66 and include access to all 6 games. See your Sacramento Kings as they host the San Antonio Spurs and Charlotte Hornets, featuring newly drafted rookies, NBA sophomores, and other athletes competing to make NBA rosters. Visit kings.com/California Classic for more information and to buy your tickets today.
Sacramento, Dirk Bentley is coming to town.
Hey y'all, this is Dirk Bentley.
Saturday, September 28th at Hart Health Park at Cal Expo for Country in the Park 2. And he's bringing some friends.
This is Farley. Take my hand, let me make you mine.
Hey, it's Dasha. Kelsey Hart and more. Saturday, September 28th at Hart Health Park at Cal Expo. Get your tickets before they sell out at CITPfest.com. Brought to you by Hyatt Vacation Club and Xfinity.
The IRS deadline has come and gone. So do you owe money to the IRS? If so, you need an ally. Whether you owe the IRS $6,000 or $600,000, whether your tax problems are personal or business, the professionals at Allies Tax Relief are ready to step in and negotiate your fresh start with the IRS. Here's a happy customer of Allies Tax Relief.
Before calling Allies Tax Relief, I feared the IRS would take all of my assets. I owed them over $562,000. Thankfully, I was referred to Allies and called them for help. They ultimately saved my life from uncertainty. Allies negotiated my giant tax debt to an unbelievable $1,500. They are professionals and they fight the fight for their clients.
Allies Tax Relief will protect your assets from being seized and your paycheck from being garnished. Call right now for your free consultation. 800-296-0772. That's 800-296-0772. Or visit AlliesTaxRelief.com.
Are you tired of your tee shots ending up in the adjoining fairway while the rest of your foursome is hitting it down the middle? Well, experts will tell you that being properly fitted for golf clubs will help you strike your drive center cut. The Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio and its team of trained PGA professionals are ready to help you get rid of your banana balls and duck hooks. Hagen Oaks Indoor-Outdoor Player Performance Studio fittings are available 7 days a week. Make yours today by calling 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up! And call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
We're going abroad for the first time in years to Spain. So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.
The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Well, the Kings working out some interesting players today. It's a Drive Guys here. Drape's back with us tomorrow. By the way, we were mentioning at the top of the show how Jaylen Brown could become, according to The Athletic, he could become the first MVP of the finals without a shoe deal since Dennis Johnson in 1979, 45 years ago. Jay said, nah, I don't think that's right. And we mentioned some of the past MVPs. Andre Iguodala came up. Jay said, I don't know that he had a shoe deal. Jay, I found this Sports Illustrated, October of 2015, I think this is. Iguodala he's a Nike guy at that time.
Yeah. Well, now that we've explained the form of what you were saying, yes.
Yeah.
I thought it was like a flagship shoe.
October. Yeah, I did first. I did it first as well. They apparently would give him.
He actually got a bonus for being NBA MVP. Do you remember that?
A bonus?
Yeah, from Nike.
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah, because Nike is one of those organizations. If you do certain things, it is within your Nike deal. Yeah, and I never had a Nike deal. I never signed with Nike because they didn't have good baseball equipment. After my initial first, well, let me explain it. I was a Nike athlete coming out of high school, right? Because I signed with a Nike school, and after that, I was like, no, I'm out. Like when I transferred, no way, because they didn't have good product. But within that deal, if you did certain things, and this was at the time collegiately where everything was watched, it's not like now, but the pros, if you did NBA MVP, all league stuff, that was in your deal because it brought more eyes to Nike. You got bumps and bonuses and stuff, and Iguodala got one of those.
Yeah. Now you get the NIL, you get the nil money.
Oh, yeah, good.
When you played, it was nil. You did nothing.
You got nil. Yeah. You got a monthly stipend if you were on a full ride. Yes.
The Oregon-based company gives Iguodala 2 shoe options each season with 3 colorways for each shoe, allowing him to switch it up as often as he chooses. Last season, that was the year he won the MVP. He opted for the low top Hyper Rev most often, which he calls comfortable, but he still wore the Hyper Dunk too. So
yes, sir.
Shoe history there as we tried to confirm this report that Jaylen Brown, who's a shoe free agent, could be the first finals.
We got to go down.
MVP.
We got to literally go down.
Years.
Yeah. I mean, now that we kind of have the foundation of what we're looking for, I'm going to have to literally go. It is my duty today.
Well, like I said, Jokic is one that you think, well, wait a minute. Did he have his own shoe?
He did.
Deal.
Yeah, 361 is a brand. And he actually has a flagship shoe, which was signed 2 years or a year and a half ago, but he was already with 361. So, and like I said, if you start to count back, LeBron's in there and Steph is in there. That's Under Armour. That's Nike, KD, that's there. The early 2000s, you got the Kobe's, you got Shaq's.
We go back 45 years. That was the last time, supposedly, Dennis Johnson. Then after that, you had Magic.
Yeah.
And you had
Converse.
You had Larry Bird through the
Converse.
80s into like the Pistons, Isaiah Thomas, and then Michael. Michael won a few Finals MVP awards. So
just a few.
Yeah.
I'm going back a little bit. We got Jokic, Curry, Giannis, LeBron, Kawhi, who's a New Balance guy, Kevin Durant. We know Nike, Iguodala, Nike, Kawhi at the time was a Nike guy when he won that one. LeBron, Dirk. I don't know. I don't remember what Dirk used to wear. I'd have to look that up, but I'm pretty sure
about Adidas, right?
Think so?
Because it's German.
Yeah,
Adidas
maybe.
is German.
Maybe.
I don't remember. But nobody wore Fila's on that.
No, what are you talking about? People wore Fila's, Grand Hill, Jamal Mashburn.
Oh, okay.
Come on, man.
I don't
Ricky
know. I had that
Waters.
stuck in my head. It was Fila's, but
absolutely.
I thought it was Iguodala.
Man, Chris Webber had a pair of Fila's.
Okay.
Dirk, Kobe's in the 2009-10. Of course, Paul Pierce was a Nike guy. Tony Parker. I can't remember. He was a Nike guy, I feel like. D Wade, 06. That was Converse at the time.
Wade Jones, but yeah.
Wade Jones. Tim Duncan was an Adidas guy. Chauncey Billups in 04. I don't remember. I know at one point in time he wore &1s, but by 04, that was probably a wrap. We got to find 04.
All right.
Adidas too. He was an Adidas guy at one point as well. So let's put 04 on there.
So Chauncey, we got to determine.
And 2011 Dirk too, because I don't remember what Dirk wore.
I'm going to because I want it to be Adidas.
There you go. 03 Duncan, of course, he was a Nike and Adidas, different points. Shaquille O'Neal, Reebok. We knew, and he had his own stuff.
Yeah.
2000 Duncan there, Michael Jordan. That's all Nike. Hakeem Olajuwon. Do you know in 94, 95 what brand Hakeem was wearing? Man, I wish we had let me check and see if we got a prize today, because this one is a good one.
Yeah, I would.
You got to be
Nike,
a shoe guy.
It's not.
No, not even close. You got to be a real shoe guy to know. And in 94, 95,
what does it matter? Because I thought he wasn't iconic.
Well, he is to me, but
I know,
according to Draper, who's not here, that's an asterisk. I actually know that brand. Jordans in the early 90s, Isaiah in 90. I don't remember what Isaiah was. He rocking he might
have been like Converse. I don't think so. But
yeah, I feel like he was like a pony guy.
Wow.
Pony or Brooks or something at that time. Because Ralph Sampson was a pony guy at one point. He was a Puma guy and then a pony guy.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Isaiah kind of had one of those off-brand, kangaroo type stuff, like LA Gear, kangaroo. Walter Payton had kangaroo. Remember that? I don't remember what Isaiah 1990.
Was Magic Converse at first?
Yes, him and Bird came in together. It was called the Converse Weapon, was what they were wearing, and then Magic actually moved to his own brand, which his son was the president of after a while.
And that was pre-Air Jordans. That was before.
That was before Jordan. Yeah, that was Converse was running 80s, Pumas, Elises. Cats was rocking that.
Mm-hmm. I know. Akeem was wearing Asics.
Nope. It's a good guess, though. That's a good guess.
Sean Cunningham today on Twitter. Kings hosted a big pre-draft workout in Sacramento. According to league sources, Zach Edey, Khalil Ware, Jamison Battle from Ohio State, Boogie Ellis from USC, Ray J. Dennis from Baylor, Jonathan Mugbo from USF participated. Obviously, the two that catch your eye, Zach Edey and Khalil Ware from Indiana. I think they like Ware, and they brought in Edey to see how Ware would play against a legitimate big. That's my theory on that. We may know soon enough. We may not know. I also know this about the draft based on what's being reported. The Lakers and Miami are both trying to trade up into the top 5. And I mention that because I mention that because it reflects kind of what the Kings are dealing with. Apparently, a lot of teams that feel like if you're not in the top 5, like 6 through 20, a lot of teams feel like it's the same. It doesn't matter. You might as well be, if you're not in the top 5, 6, 7, 8, you might as well be 20th. So I still think the Kings want to trade this pick. But Zach Edey in town, Jay, you may run into him.
I mean, it's not going to be easy to miss.
Hard to miss.
Yes. It's gonna, but it's interesting because he's the sexy name.
Yeah.
Right? He's the name that I think if there's anyone in college, he probably is the most well-known.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how his game transcribes to the NBA, but are you willing to go out on a limb if you're the Sacramento Kings? With what we know, we're not privy to the information. We don't know his workout. We don't know, we seen what was popping off when it comes to, his the combine. Are you willing to go out on a limb at the 13th spot right now, Whitey Gleason, armchair GM, and pick Zach Edey?
No, I'm not. I don't know that he can help me that much, and I need help. On my team, he maybe could come off the bench. Maybe he's going to be a good player. If he had trade value, if I knew someone else really liked him, well, I'd probably just trade picks for him. But I don't think I can afford to do that now. I'm thinking if they're going to draft a big, which again, they're probably going to trade the pick and not draft anybody. If they draft a big, they would probably be looking for a big that would fit with Domas, which would be a stretch big, a big who can shoot. And Khalil Ware, apparently he shot the ball really well at the combine, and his draft stock is rising. So he grabbing straws here a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm imagining a little bit, just like crossing my fingers and guessing, but I wouldn't be surprised if they had real interest in him. He'd be a guy that could, in theory, fit with Domas. But the thing about him, Jay, and this happens in all sports, occasionally, well, not occasionally, quite often, actually, there's a player about whom the scouts say, I don't know about his motor. To me, I think I would very, very, very rarely take a guy if there were serious questions about his motor, right? If guys don't play that hard, bless them, but I can't see how, let's give millions of dollars, how that's going to make somebody play harder.
True. Right. That might even make them slack off a little less.
Exactly. Again, that's fine. Do what you're going to do.
Right.
I'm just not going to hitch my wagon to those guys.
The only thing I say with that right now, too, Whitey, is you talked about the NIL. These college players are already getting paid like pros in many instances. Yeah. And so it's not like, now don't get me wrong. The money definitely is going to be different. 20 million compared to 1 million is definitely different, but you also are comfortable when you're a college kid and you're making $2 million on an NIL deal. But I think we have to be careful when you start to question people's motor in certain ways, because you just never know what's going on. And that's why we have the combine. That's why you have these workouts, these draft workouts, these pre-workouts, these interviews and stuff. But I think there's an operation of, if you see it throughout the season, like a lot where he's dogging it, then yeah, I'm with you. I'm not taking anybody I need to not show up. Like the very first thing you need to do is show up.
Yeah,
You don't
it's just
show
too
up, it's a
risky for
problem.
me.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm not judging that guy. Oh, I don't need this. It's like, okay, fine, you do you, but we ain't gonna do you.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Sometimes though, you got to take chances.
Absolutely. I will say this though with Khalil Ware, if that's the case, to me that means they're pushing back. You don't take him at 13. No one on earth is thinking this dude's going to be taking 13. Don't be the Las Vegas Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Raiders got a propensity of jumping up, grabbing people that could have been take 20, a whole round later just because you like them. I get that. But you also got to play ball. You got to also know your position. Khalil Ware is probably going to go in the 20 somewhere, if not, about there somewhere. If that's the case, trade down, get some more, get a veteran, swing somebody out this way. Because there's going to be someone with a bigger name and probably more wanted at 13. If that's your guy, get smart. John Lynch, move back, Monty McNair. Don't sit there and take that guy.
Mm-hmm. The most useless hoops rumor involving the Kings ever. We have that for you when we come back to Sactown Sports.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
A handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10-5. Touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sactown Sports.
We love the game because anything can happen. There's no sure thing.
How did that go in?
Every play, every shot,
Are you kidding me?
every swing is a risk if you bet.
I can't believe that just happened.
There's no easy money. There's no luck. And no one wins all the time. If you bet responsibly and always set a limit. Learn more at responsibleplay.org.
At the Good Feet store, we take pain very seriously. Whether in the foot, knee, hip, or back, Good Feet makes over 300 styles, flexibilities, and sizes of pain-relieving arch supports. With 26 bones, 30 joints, and over 100 muscles, tendons, and ligaments in each foot, a lot can go painfully wrong. So there's a trained arch support specialist at each Good Feet store to give you a precision fit. Come in for a free fitting and test walk. No appointment necessary. Good Feet arch supports are HSA, FSA eligible.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Feel the thunder.
It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder. Feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Maida Chevy saves you $12,000 off MSRP on every new half-ton Silverado LT Turbo Max. In stock after rebates. Always 5 to choose from.
Exclusive. All in-stock pricing at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
See deal for details. Ends at 124.
With T-Mobile, you can get tons of benefits and still save. It's like getting romance and sci-fi.
I love you. Also, I'm a robot.
With T-Mobile, you can save on every plan versus AT&T and Verizon. See how with our savings calculator at T-Mobile.com/switch. Plus, we'll pay off your locked AT&T phone up to $650, and you'll get a new 5G phone for free. Pay off via virtual prepaid card in 15 days. Free phone up to $830 via 24 monthly bill credits with qualifying planning credit plus tax and $35 connection charge. Contact us before canceling to continue bill credits or they stop and required finance agreement balances due. See T-Mobile.com.
You're ready for a perfect summer on the lawn. But all these weeds and brown spots are totally killing the vibe. It's time to call True Green. Save some green this summer with our limited time offer. 1 free application with an annual plan. So all you have to do is water, mow, and enjoy that perfect lawn. Hurry. Offer ends June 18th. Visit TrueGreen.com for the best lawn at the best price. Guaranteed. Restrictions apply.
your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Jay, you know what I say about our viewers and listeners, smartest in radio, right? We have the smartest viewers, we have the smartest listeners in radio, and they have proven it once again.
Yes, sir.
By answering your riddle.
I think so.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple people.
The Docos Locos. I think the Docos Locos was first.
Okay.
The Dream Wars Spalding and Etonics. Am I right, Jay Johnson?
And that man or woman knows exactly what they're talking about. That is money in the bank right there, Whitey.
I forgot all about
yes.
Etonics or Etonics?
Etonics. So he wore Etonics when he first came out in the 80s. Then he switched over and he was rocking Nike. But he was one of the first people, and Shaq was probably number 2, but he, to the best of my knowledge, was one of the first people to want affordable shoes for people, because at that time, like, I'll give you a quick story. The Reebok pumps that came out in 19, so D Brown won the slam dunk competition. Yeah. Remember pumps, and Murray pumped them up, right? Mm-hmm. Then Shaq came out with, he had signed with Reebok, but his flagship shoe had not come out. But remember, Reebok was kind of like debuting this little pump accessory that went with the shoe. Shaq was the first person to have that little piece of accessory that you were literally, like a small pump type thing to go with your pumps, right? So he hadn't had his own shoe yet. Then, of course, they came out with the Shaq Reeboks. He's got all kind of, models before he went and created his own. Akeem, specifying that he did not want to charge people like Michael Jordan, wore Spalding in 1994. 1995 was the first year you could actually purchase them. They were at Payless, Walmart, Kmart, places like that for $34.99. He is 100% right. Etonic, that's when he was bouncing out of U of H and he went to the Rockets. He was wearing Etonic early, but his flagship shoe, it was called the Dream.
Yeah,
exactly. It was called the Dream. So who said that?
That was the Docos Locos.
Man, Docos Locos, spot on.
Mm-hmm.
The Spalding, the Dream, $34.99. Could have got it at Payless, which is now defunct. Kmart, which is now defunct, unless you're just in the most country town ever in the United States. Walmart, those type of places. Yep, $34.99, the Dream.
Yeah. Compio says Jokic wears Performance Foot brand, and someone's asking, what is that? And he says that's a Japanese company.
It is, a.k.a. 361 is kind of like the name of what people call it. But yes, that is. And he has his own.
You, Jay, you were just talking about NIL.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you saw this story before I did. Coleman Hawkins, local guy from Antelope, right?
Yes.
Transfers to Kansas State. His NIL deal is around $2 million. How about that?
That's big boy stuff. Congratulations, Coleman Hawkins. Antelope guy. Yeah. I think he went to high school, then he went to Prolific Prep, our family out there in Napa.
Mm-hmm.
Man, and he went to Illinois, right? He's an Illini guy before transferring now. And he dabbled. Then he worked out here. Sacramento Kings, right? He was one of the names that were reported to work out here for the Kings.
Schools that were recruiting Hawkins in recent weeks were all willing to go north of $1.5 million to attain his commitment. Kansas State emerged as the favorite over the past week plus. And then I think it was Friday that he made the announcement going to Kansas State for about $2 million of NIL.
Ooh, that's a beautiful look.
Yeah.
Congratulations to these college kids getting their money, man.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
When I went through college, White, the University of Hawaii was the most, you could get the most money per month from the University of Hawaii because, of course, cost of living.
So that was a stipend?
And it was a stipend.
Okay,
and you had to be on a full 100% scholarship to get a monthly stipend. Like, these are things, and it should have been. These were always glossed over because people always talked about getting paid to play. But if you are a full-time, athlete on a 100% scholarship, you got a stipend, which was chump change. It was like getting paid from the minor leagues.
Yeah.
I think mine was $675 or something like that. Then it went up every year, whatever. But I remember Hawaii's was $900. And one of my friends, I won't say his name, because he played football around here. People might know him. Don't want no bad blood or anything. But he signed with the University of Hawaii out of high school. He was only over there for a semester. And he was like, this ain't for me, whatever. But he told me they got paid $950 per month.
Wow.
Yep. The most in the country at the time, playing U of H football.
Wow. $950 to live in Hawaii.
Yeah, it's still a job though, man. Still gotta go to school, still gotta do things. Like, people are, you got a free education. Like, dude, yeah, free education ain't free, man. I still gotta get my butt up and go to class. Still gotta go get it.
Here's the most useless hoops rumor involving the Kings ever. Saw this today, Hoops Hype. Okay, so I'm telling you, it's nothing to get excited about. Quote, rival NBA execs who spoke with Hoops Hype expect Kevin Huerter and Harrison Barnes to be available this summer. Are you kidding me? Like, we didn't know that?
Duh.
Yeah. Ooh, there's a scoop. Oh, that's investigative journalism.
That?
It was in Hoops Hype.
We got to start. Is that my boy? That ain't my boy Mike Scotto, is it?
I don't know.
Okay.
Because says they aggregate.
Yes.
It could be.
They do.
But rival executives, and then someone passing this office, I've been doing some digging. Looks like maybe looks like Huerter and Barnes could be available.
Could be.
Right?
Could be. I've heard they're there for the taking.
That's the scoop.
Come on.
They've been available, those two poor guys, for so long, right? That's part of the Kings' problem. That's why they haven't been able to get anybody.
Yeah.
That's their standard package. It starts with that.
It starts with that.
Yeah. And Huerter's like, he's hurt and he didn't play that well. And Barnes is declining. Yeah, but how about it? That's why they're not getting anywhere.
That is the base Toyota Corolla package. Okay, you ain't getting the moon roof.
Yeah.
You might even have the manual windows. You might have to hit them with the roll up. Like, that's the basic package.
Yes, strip model.
Yes, the bottom line Honda Civic. Okay, there's not even a Accord. It's the Civic.
You're gonna have to open the doors manually.
Right, exactly. No electronic lock.
Nothing against those guys.
No,
but just
absolutely.
I think we already knew that, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
I mean, everyone knows. They know, yeah, of course.
But free agency could actually start tonight. Technically it can't start until the day after the finals end. If the finals end tonight, then at 9:00 tonight our time is midnight East Coast.
Start talking.
Yeah. So what you can do, according to the new CBA, you can begin to negotiate with your own free agents the day after the finals. So anything other than that, you're not supposed to do. You still can't really talk to people officially until I think June 30th.
Yes.
Some of these things do
go
on.
Everybody does.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what the Kings are supposed to do as far as Malik. I mean, so they could start to negotiate with Malik again, but I think both sides know where they stand. You know how much we want you. You know what we could give you. So I don't know how much negotiating there is to do on that.
As far as Malik, I think part of it is you got to sweeten the deal with Malik at this point, don't you, White?
I don't think you can.
Well, not money-wise, but you got to be able to sweeten the deal. You got to throw him a box. You got to throw the Monk family a box. You got to throw him, a private PJ on certain. You get to use the Vivex PJ. Like, these are things that are in people's deals. You know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're laughing, but I'm dead serious.
But I don't know if you can.
Yes, that's what are in people's deals. Like, you have to sweeten the pot instead of me paying. Like, a lot of folks don't know some of this stuff, White, but this is part of what people are negotiating. You remember when A-Rod with the Rangers, he wanted the box.
Is that $25 million or
something crazy? I don't remember the money, but I remember the extra stuff. He wanted 2 boxes, not 1 box. He needed one with his family, one for whatever he needed, right? Then he needed opportunity to sell his own gear in the stands, in the concession stands and stuff like that. Not just through the Rangers, not through MLB, but his own gear. Like, stuff like that matters to people.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you have to negotiate with Malik Monk, especially knowing you're probably going to be $10 to $15 million, if not more, off the number that he's looking for.
Yeah.
You have to get this man a car.
I think
get him service, get his family service, a box.
Eric Pincus, and it's good that I mentioned these sites and what they're
Shouts
saying.
Out to EP, Bleacher Report.
Who says it?
Yeah.
I think this is Eric
Friend
Pincus.
of the show.
He says, and he just has a bunch of predictions. That's all it is. Getting a lot of run today because we're so hungry for information. He's just like, these are my guesses. His guess is Malik goes to Orlando and he's got them, I think, 83 mil.
Okay.
Yeah, $483 million starting at 20. I mean, that's tough. My point is, and then you factor in no taxes in Florida. Yeah. It's tough to make up that difference with some of the things that you're offering.
That's true. That's why I say you got to sweeten the pot. Vivek's got to allow him to take the jet, 8 times a year. I can't remember who had that in their deal. Someone, football player, had that in their deal. The owner allowed them to use their jet, 4 or 5 times a year. Like that stuff matters because those are the things that they have to pay for. And the less things you have to pay for, the better, right? Especially, again, when you're probably going to be $10 million short of what Malik is probably asking for money-wise.
Yeah. Did you see what OG Anunoby may be asking for?
I did not.
It's a staggering amount. I'll tell you about that when we come back. Also, Brandon Ayuk says the 49ers told him they don't want him back. What? Can it be true? It's next. Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Play and win to take your loyalty to new heights at Sky River Casino. Sign up for Sky River Rewards, and you'll get $15 free play to use on your first visit. Plus, you'll be in the know about upcoming special events and offers. Just minutes from Sacramento, right off Highway 99 in Elk Grove. Join in the fun with rewards that add up and up. Sky's the limit at Sky River Casino. Visit skyriver.com today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Save on rows and rows of new Hondas during our giant summer sale at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Hurry in and save on our best selection of new Hondas. Each is priced to sell now. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on a giant selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Ridgeline, Civics, and Accords with low finance and lease options. Get to Folsom Lake Honda or go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
The PGA Club fitters at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio know that golf should be fun. They also know that players of all abilities will hit the ball farther and straighter, play better golf, shoot lower scores, and have more fun if they get fitted before they purchase golf clubs. Hagen Oaks delivers the same technology and major brands used to fit PGA and LPGA professionals. See how the game can be even more fun. Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio fittings are available 7 days a week. Make yours today by calling 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Take it on the local level. Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sactown Sports. The only place you'll find Kevin Herter is Sactown Sports.
Herter's open, steps into three. He's got the triple.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Kevin Herter, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader. The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
Kristaps Porzingis is listed as questionable for tonight's Game 5 of the NBA Finals. They resume in Boston with the Celtics, of course, trying to wrap up their 18th championship. We've been talking about NBA free agency and the upcoming draft. The Kings with some players working out today with them, including Zach Edey. And we were just talking about OG Anunoby and what he's going to cost somebody. It looks like, according to reports, he's expected to re-sign with the Knicks. And I mentioned this, not because I think there's a lot of Knicks fans around, but all these prices impact the Kings, what it's going to cost them to get players. The floor for OG Anunoby, who is expected, as I say, to re-sign with the Knicks, the floor for him, Jay, looks like about $35 million a year for OG Anunoby.
Man.
Yeah. Max contract would be the ceiling. A lot of teams saying we'd give him 35. Don't know about the max because of his injury history, but he's been more of a kind of a specialist player. He's a good player, but for a guy like that, 35, I mean, the game's changing. The figures, the money aspect of it is changing with the cap rising.
So what is that, 4 for 140?
Sure.
That's what you're looking for?
Yeah.
Wow.
If you're the Knicks, you kind of got to do it.
Yeah. Man. You have to, because you traded, your youngsters, RJ Barrett and quickly, like you have to.
And if he's healthy, he's probably worth it, but that's
Yeah.
It's a big if.
Man, the Kings could have been in this position. That was someone that they, had their eyes on, and we'd be asking the same question. We probably would say just what you said. You have to do it, don't you? Yeah.
Yeah, that's encouraging to me that they were looking at him, according to reports, and they were looking at Pascal Siakam. They didn't get either one. That's discouraging. But when you look at, all right, if that's true, those guys would have been great fits. Then the Kings have a clue. They have an idea what they're looking for, how this is going to fit together going forward. We will see about all that. I think it's going to be really fast and furious this year, Jay. Last year was kind of you're right. We thought more would happen. I'll be very disappointed and surprised if this year isn't a boom. They got they made that trade. Oh, they made that trade because they're getting him, and now they got him.
For the Kings or just the league?
Kings.
Oh, the Kings. Okay.
The Kings, because they have to.
I don't think they have to, but I like where you're going. I'm hoping they are. I don't think they have to, though. I mean,
eventually they have to. We agree on that?
Yeah, of course. I've been saying it for the numerous, for everyone in the back that wants to listen. Calendar year, off-season, trade deadline, next calendar year. Yes, I think within the next year they have to. Absolutely.
Especially if you lose Malik, as we all know. Then what? Then
you better.
You're going the wrong way.
You better not have to. You better do something.
By the way, I can't believe we've been doing the show for more than an hour now, and we haven't talked yet again about Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, well, we try to do what we can here on the drive, guys, and spread around, and spread the topics around. Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark is everywhere. It's a national conversation.
Yeah. I just happened to look up. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, locally, do you think people care about Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark?
I think on some level it's become a story that goes beyond basketball. And some of that's good and some of that is not.
Right. I mean, honestly, and it's been brewing in the pot for the last couple of years, ever since, they got together a couple years ago in the tournament. This is definitely has many more legs than just on the basketball floor. I've said it a couple times, the racial tension between both of them, and not meaning them as far as each other, but their parties,
right?
Who supports who.
Yeah.
The other part of it too is I think Angel Reese has some type of quarrel with the fact that she is not being recognized on the same level as Caitlin Clark when it comes to just excitement, popularity in certain instances. I don't want to say she's saying, look at me, but I think she's fighting for everything that she is getting at this point when it comes to popularity in many different forms. And so I think that's part of it. Then, just the fact that they are competitors, they really are. Like Angel has a national championship. Caitlin doesn't. Caitlin beat, Angel this past year in the tournament. I think that definitely plays a part of it. Background plays a part of it. There's so many different instances of where, this, and I saw someone say this, and I thought about this a couple of weeks ago. It is close to now. You could talk about Magic and Bird, how they came in and saved the NBA, and you talked about it a little bit, but I don't want to say these two young ladies have saved the WNBA, but there's got some type of underlining feel where Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese have come into the WNBA, and there's something there because they're competitors against each other, and I don't know what to call it, but I think people are paying attention a little more because they both are there too.
Yeah, I think they're both. Obviously, Caitlin Clark has been a godsend, but Angel Reese is really valuable and important to the WNBA, especially now if she said, all right, I'll be a villain. And, it's unfortunate, but we like to identify athletes. He's this, she's that, he's that, and it makes it in some ways easier to follow and more relatable when she's the villain. And then, that was a flagrant one. That was I liked what Caitlin Clark's coach said. If they would just call it when it happens, implying that they should have when that happened when Kennedy did that to Caitlin Clark. If they just call it when it happens, we move on. Yeah. It was a flagrant one. They're very competitive, and it was a play on. But that's great that afterwards, she's talking about it. Angel Reese is talking about it. So I guess some people get special treatment from the officials. Caitlin Clark's not taking the bait. It's good for women's basketball is all.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all the people that use it as, well, it's a microcosm of what's going on racially in our country.
Yeah.
And, that's like, whoa,
too deep.
whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've even seen people talk about politically, like the red and blue. And it's just so much to it where it's like, this is basketball.
Yeah. Everything's so volatile in that area that there's always going to be some people that look to tie anything that people are paying attention to into all that.
Very well said.
Yeah.
100%.
Everything.
Yes. It doesn't matter what. Yeah. You bought a foreign car. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
We see where you stand politically. You bought a domestic car. Oh my goodness, you're not supporting, foreign affairs. Totally understand. I think you're spot on with that. It's interesting. It is interesting when it comes to the dynamic of competition, though.
Did you think she should have been thrown out of the game?
No. Should have been a flagrant one, though.
Yeah.
Quick. Just boop, 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 give it to her. Let's move on. But I've
seen guys thrown out of NBA games for less.
Yeah, that's because the NBA is, here goes the word. They're playing soft. They're acting soft, minus now the last 2 or 3 months of the season.
Yeah,
January, whatever it was, the turn of the calendar. Yeah, they start letting folks get their Bill Laimbeer on, Kurt Rambis on. But I think the WNBA has got to, and Drapes has said this. He's like, look, the WNBA needs to get a hold of this and quick when it comes to certain things, when it comes to protecting Caitlin Clark. And for whatever it is, that's their star right now. That is one of their stars. They're hitching their wagon to Caitlin Clark. They should protect her in certain ways, for sure. If somebody's clotheslining or slapping her across the head or, elbowing her or whatever you want to call it, you got to protect her, even just for her safety. I don't think it was just blatantly like, oh my goodness, Kurt Rambis, but I'd be crazy to be up here and sit on this mic and lie to you to say Angel Reese got a little something towards Caitlin Clark. And it was a little something extra on top of that.
Right. And she's smart and she saw the opportunity.
Of course.
I can do this now. It'll be a basketball play, but I can still smack her in the head.
Absolutely.
It'll be in a way justified.
Let me get her that macho man.
And then they give the flagrant one, and then it's like, all right, you did that. You can't do it again, or you'll be gone.
You're out of here.
Yeah.
Well, it's basketball, man. I think you come from the school of you can blow on your competitor and not be a foul.
Right.
Again, safety wise, I'm not saying that could have injured her in some form or fashion, but
playgrounds of Vallejo, Jay, that was an offensive foul.
Absolutely. Ball up. Don't come in there with that soft stuff. Absolutely. I get it.
Yeah. All right. We have some interesting things going on with Brandon Ayuk. This can't be true, can it? Brandon Ayuk telling one of his college teammates that the 49ers don't want him back. We're all over that when we come right back. Help us figure it out next with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Live and local, it's The Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Jay, let's be honest here. You love the 49ers, right? I love the 49ers.
Yes, sir.
But I think everybody in 49er land is probably getting a little weary of talking about this Brandon Ayuk situation. You agree with that?
Yes, sir.
Let's get it settled. Let's figure it out. We know the parameters. Albert Breer, who's an insider for Sports Illustrated, he said, you know what? It looks like they're going to settle on like 29. If it were that simple, I would like to think they'd have it done by now. I don't know why they don't have it done by now. To me, it suggests the 49ers maybe aren't certain they want to give him that much. I just don't. It's getting to the point now where I feel like we're spinning our wheels and they're spinning their wheels, and let's just get something done. What's the point? What's the benefit of going through this to maybe save $1.5 million? Maybe. I don't get it.
I'm with you. I think we're rowing, we're in the same boat and rowing in the same direction. It sounds like he wants 30. Sounds like the 49ers want to give him 27.5. Same thing we just saw a couple weeks ago with Moneybag Mike, as I call him now, over the weekend. That was something that I termed Mike Brown, Moneybag Mike. And
you said that's why he couldn't run the bases?
Yeah, he had the wads of cash in his pocket. Now, that, sources tell me, because my own eyes, but yeah, sources tell me, he had, the wallet was heavy. It was weighing him down a little bit. So he couldn't run around the bases a few times. He did once, but the other couple times he had some courtesy runners. Same thing we just went through this. Sounded like Mike Brown in this camp wanted 10. We know, but for whatever reason, the reports, the Kings wanted to give him 7.5. They split the difference, came up with 8.5 with the base, and he can get to 10 depending on, what happens with the team, what they accomplish goals wise. Same thing with Ayuk.
Yeah. And as you've pointed out, if you'd had this settled many weeks ago, you would have saved a lot of money.
Easy.
Yeah.
The money's up. You probably could have gave him the 27-28 2 weeks ago, before Amon-Ra St. Brown, before D. Smith, before AJ, before who else re-signed this offseason? Nico Collins. There's a bunch of guys who have gotten deals and they're pushing the narrative. Justin Jefferson set the bar at $35 million base.
I know CD Lamb's still out there.
Yes, he is.
T. Higgins just signed the franchise tender in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
They can still negotiate for a better deal for him, but as of now, he's under contract for next year, 21.8. Which almost sounds like, oh, poor guy.
I know, man. You're getting the low end of the stick.
Let's bring him some, somebody cook him dinner and take it to his house or something.
Porridge, please. Can you spare any porridge?
Well, what do we have here? We have from Brandon Ayuk's Instagram account,
TikTok.
right? TikTok, thank you. And he's talking to Jane Daniels, now with Washington. He is college quarterback?
Yes.
Yeah.
ASU, Arizona
All right.
State.
Yeah.
Before Jane Daniels transferred.
Here's what Brandon Ayuk had to say.
They said they don't want me back. I swear.
What happened, man? They said they don't want me back. I swear. That can't be true, can it, Jay? They said they don't want me back?
Right. Yeah.
They don't want me back. All right, that's your opinion. We get it. They said they don't want me back?
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't even know what to make of it. We know that's not true. I don't know what he's trying to accomplish with it, though.
I don't either.
And that's what I'm trying to get to is like, what are we trying to get to? What are you trying to accomplish with this? What are you doing when you, and I get it. How many times do you have conversations with your boy and you tell him how you feel? That's your family. That's who you rock with. But why post that on TikTok? Like, what is that accomplishing?
I wonder if it's a matter of, he's been pushing and pushing and pushing, and trying to constantly send that message that I want more, I want more, I want more.
I think they know
more. They do know that. They're not really budging maybe the way he thought. Maybe he's just getting frustrated at this point. He doesn't know what to do. They told me they don't want me. I don't know. Just a desperate plea from someone who's running out of patience. Maybe it suggests the 49ers are actually winning, and he's going to at some point have to come around to their way of thinking and settle for a little less.
The other part of it is and I don't know. I mean, we could kind of read through the tea leaves, but at the same time, I don't even know what he was talking about. Like there was nothing, and before there was a couple of curse words and stuff, so I didn't feel like doing all the editing because it didn't really matter. They weren't talking about anything, but there was nothing they were talking about.
So there's no context.
Yes, there's zero. There, like you didn't set the foundation. You didn't give me the base of the conversation. So I don't know what you're really talking about. Now, common sense, if I'm, best guess, I'm hypothesizing. I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but you're right. If that were the case, why would you then post that?
Right.
So maybe he's just playing games
I ask,
with us.
Yes. What are you trying to accomplish if that is geared towards the 49ers? If I'm John Lynch, if I'm Jed, if I'm anybody, that's in these conversations, somebody show me that. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm just keep it pushing. What else we got? Next thing on the agenda. Like that means nothing to me.
Right.
That means nothing to me. So I don't know what he was trying to, what the point of the narrative was when it was coming to that. But hey, man, shouts out to him, man. You're using your social network for getting more likes, more views, clicks, impressions, whatever. I don't know, man. Maybe you get paid for it. Hopefully he do. Maybe he can make up that couple $1 million that the 49ers aren't going to give him. Through a social network and a deal, but I'm befuddled on what he was trying to get.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That maybe at some point he'll address it. Maybe he never will, but if he does, it'll be, oh, no, that's not what I was talking about. No, I don't know why people took it that way, knowing full well that they would. I think this makes the most sense. Matt Mayoko said this. I think it makes the most sense that they'll bring him back and they'll figure something out. It'll probably be a little less than what he wants, but they'll bring him back this year. But this year, a big part of this year will be for the 49ers figuring out which of their receivers they can do without next year.
Yeah.
Because
Tricky Ricky P.
Yeah, because it's funny. They love him. He's making a strong impression. Maybe you saw that. There's, I think, ESPN has a story, all the teams and their top picks and what they think of him. And everyone is impressed and loves the new guy.
Yeah.
I mean, if they don't, they're certainly going to say they do.
Right, of course.
No one at this point is going to go, no, wrong guy.
Oh, that's Thomas Robinson.
He's not picking this up at all. Yeah. Boy, we made a mistake.
Yeah.
So, of course, the 49ers love him. Oh, Ricky Pearsall. Yeah, he's learning all the different positions. We're throwing a lot of stuff at him. He's great. Every team is saying that about their rookie now.
As they should. They've only seen him for a week. I mean, and we've had people on this show that, and I don't mean to pick on Thomas Robinson, but that was the story, is they never worked him out. Former pick of the Sacramento Kings, I think number 5, never worked him out. As soon as he got here, within 5 minutes of the first practice, everybody looked at each other and said, "Uh-oh,
yeah,
we made the wrong."
I heard, as a matter of when they saw him, said he's not 6'10".
Nah, he's small. he's
yeah.
The wingspan at the combine didn't work out.
Didn't,
and I don't think he went to the combine, but it didn't look good, as we thought it was on film and paper. But I think that's what they're supposed to say. My boy Tricky Ricky Pearsall, it's not unless he went out there and was just dropping passes. Unless he was just sloppy with the feet, the route running wasn't there. Unless he was just out of shape. Like, what else could he possibly, if he was dumb as a rock?
Right.
What could you
showed
possibly?
Up in the wrong field.
Yeah. He's never on time. He would have some off-field issues already. Like, what else could you possibly like? Oh, we don't like him.
Yeah. We love him.
Love him.
Great. Apparently, they're working him out early in a lot of different roles, and their plan is he's going to be the next man out for whatever they need. So if somebody gets hurt, whatever the need is, he's going to be that guy. And he's also, this I don't think we talk about enough, he's also probably going to return punts.
Yeah, probably.
And that's big.
And they need it.
Yes.
They need it, especially losing their former kick returner now this past year. But I think Ray McLeod, yep. I think the other part of it too, and I found it very interesting that they signed Jawan Jennings to a 2-year deal.
Yeah.
I thought they were just going to give him a 1, but Jawan was like, look, I probably need a little more safety net and more guaranteed money. So I believe he has 2 with the option. But the other part of that too, that definitely lets me know, kind of like when Matt Mayoko in NBC 49ers insider for NBC Sports Bay Area. I think just what he said, they're going to see who fits the bill a little more.
Right.
Most people believe it's Debo is out because you got CMC, but Ricky Pearsall is probably more in the likeness of Brandon Ayuk.
I would guess so.
It's hard to be Debo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The beauty about Debo is if, let's say, something were to happen to McCaffrey, and I think they're planning to play him fewer downs this year, just to try to play it safe. But if something happens to McCaffrey, Debo's a reasonable facsimile.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the same, but it's still something like an X factor that no one else has that type of
Swiss Army knife.
Yeah.
I'm all terrain. I can do it all.
The wide back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Put him back there, coach.
Yeah. You know what scares me about the 49ers, Jay? Tell me if I'm overthinking this. The 49ers, since Kyle Shanahan has been there, to me, special teams, they kind of overlook.
Yes.
And now you got this new kickoff rule, and nobody knows what to do. But everyone's trying to figure out what to do about it. I could see how the 49ers get boat raced on that because they're like, oh, we didn't think it was that important. We didn't spend any time on it.
You feel as far as defensive, like covering the kick versus
all of it?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. See, I think they have good coverage. I do think they overlook it a little bit.
Yeah, I'm talking more about, you're right, on the offensive end of it.
And the last time I can really remember they put their foot forward was Ted Ginn. Ted Ginn Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond that, I've always said this. It's one of the kind of like our inside jokes with me and my 49ers camp, my friends and family is, when are we ever going to run a kickback?
Right.
They never put no one dangerous back.
Like, you're allowed to do that. Right. The rules allow you to advance the ball.
I'd be trying to go get the quickest cat ever. Xavier Worthy, UT, who we just saw go to the Chiefs. That was the whole point. It's like they're going to put him back there. And maybe he'll probably steal 3, 4, 5 TDs, especially with the rule changes.
It's the curse of Kyle Williams or something. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
I even go Dexter Carter. Just keep going backwards. Like there's been some atrocious kick returners, punt returners for the 49ers.
It just seemed like sometimes the last couple of years they just almost prefer not putting somebody back there to return punts.
Yeah, let it bounce.
Yeah, they'll down it. That way we're not going to turn
let it bounce. It's okay. We're down. If we're in the 7, we'll march.
Yeah.
If they down it at the 7, if not, please just get it in zone. We'll start.
So I know your guy Tricky 25. Ricky's supposed to return punts. I don't know what they're doing on kickoffs.
He should be there too.
I'm just concerned that they're going to get lapped on that when, like I said, no team in the league is sure yet how they're going to deal with that.
Right.
They're not even sure how it works yet.
It's something that interesting that you point that out though, because I hadn't thought about that as far as, like I know the 49ers don't really, take heed in what they do when it comes to coverage and excuse me, they're off. They
overlook it, kind of take it for granted. It's down the list of priorities.
It is, man. It really is.
Yeah.
I think they put a little oomph to it defensively, like covering kicks, Odom, guys like that. But offensively, I'm with you, man. It's overlooked weakness.
Mm-hmm.
We'll cover it up with the guys we have and kickers and stuff like that. And
our
defense
is so good. What does it matter if we're on the 20-yard line or the 30-yard line?
Yes, our defense will keep it back, so we'll play great field position. I'm with you, man. I hope Tricky Ricky P get it going though. Mm-hmm. I like to see him back there. That's what you got him for. And if not, put Debo out there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's run it, baby.
Yep.
Put one of them 18 running backs we have.
Yes. The NBA Finals, as you know, resuming tonight. Kyrie explains why nothing that went wrong in Boston was actually his fault. Next with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Subscribe to Sactown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sactown Sports.
At Ashton & Price, over the last 25 years, we've won just about every injury case you can think of. Slip and fall, falling merchandise, fell through rotted decking, we won those. Dangerous stairs, falls into holes, dog bites, won them. Injured while pedestrian or on a bicycle, auto, motorcycle, big rig, company vehicle, Uber or Lyft accident, we've won them all. And the best news is there's no fee until you win. So no matter how you got injured,
remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
NBA basketball returns to Golden One Center this July 6th, 7th, and 9th for the California Classic Summer League Games. 3-day passes in the lower level start at just $66 and include access to all 6 games. See your Sacramento Kings as they host the San Antonio Spurs and Charlotte Hornets, featuring newly drafted rookies, NBA sophomores, and other athletes competing to make NBA rosters. Visit kings.com/California Classic for more information and to buy your tickets today.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopier.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
At the Good Feet store, we take pain very seriously. Whether in the foot, knee, hip, or back, Good Feet makes over 300 styles, flexibilities, and sizes of pain-relieving arch supports. With 26 bones, 30 joints, and over 100 muscles, tendons, and ligaments in each foot, a lot can go painfully wrong. So there's a trained arch support specialist at each Good Feet store to give you a precision fit. Come in for a free fitting and test walk. No appointment necessary. Good Feet arch supports are HSA, FSA eligible.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
Sacramento, Dirk Bentley is coming to town.
Hey, y'all, this is Dirk Bentley.
Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park at Cal Expo for Country in the Park 2. And he's bringing some friends.
This is Bonnie. Take my hand, let me make you mine.
Hey, it's Dasha, Kelsey Hart, and more. Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park at Cal Expo. Get your tickets before they sell out at CITPfest.com. Brought to you by Hyatt Vacation Club and Xfinity.
Hot summer savings now at Maida Chevy with $12,000 off MSRP on every new Silverado half-ton Turbo Max in stock after rebates.
$12,000 off every Silverado LT Turbo Max at Maida Chevy with at least 5 at this price.
Hot summer savings up to $12,000 off MSRP exclusively at Maida Chevy at MaidaChevy.com. Sacramento Silverado headquarters. Together, let's drive.
Not available with special financing, lease, and some other offers. Must trade in 2010 model year or newer and 7/124.
Make a great deal at Maida.
Nighttime is the right time to track your golf ball's flight time at the Hagen Oaks Top Tracer driving range. It's more relaxed at night with people enjoying the Top Tracer technology where you can play Pebble Beach at Hagen Oaks. You can compete against your friends in a variety of games or just practice with the Top Tracer television technology. There's food when you're hungry from the Hangout food truck or enjoy a craft beer on the brand new patio with relaxed seating. And don't forget the summer-long free concert schedule. It's the Hagen Oaks driving range nightly until midnight. Fulton Avenue at Cap City Freeway.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Thanks again to everybody who came out to support JaVale McGee's Jug Life for Water Foundation. Thanks to everybody who came out to the softball classic. Jay was nothing short of great as the MC. So congratulations to Jay on a big afternoon. It just comes easy for you, though, doesn't it? You get out there on the diamond and the juices start flowing.
Yeah, I get my Whitey Gleason on, brother. My Whitey Gleason Vallejo Hall of Fame MC game. That's what I did, man.
I'm nowhere near the Vallejo Hall of Fame.
You MC, did you not?
1 year.
Okay,
1 year.
that's fine. One
year.
I've only did JaVale's game 1 year. So we're in the same boat. If they call me back, then it'll be a little different. But man, just a fantastic weekend, man. Definitely. Shouts out to everybody, and got to it was fun. It was definitely a fun event. And for the foundation, JugLifeWater.com and Jug Life Foundation, learning some of the things that they do. Have 2-3 different wells over in Uganda, just providing water for so many people. Of course, JaVale being from Flint, Michigan too, that plays a part in it. We know Flint's situation. And if you don't, just Google it. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's been years. Just imagine not having the proper water to water your grass, to take showers, to drink anything, those type of things. And it is happening right here in our country, so just a beautiful thing, beautiful situation that JaVale and Kez Reed, his partner CEO over there in the Jug Life Water family, it was good, man. And I feel like I'm family now, so it was a good situation.
Good. Congrats. No surprise, but congrats on doing such a great job that people are still buzzing. Oh, you should have seen Jay. Oh, you should have heard Jay. Oh, you should have seen what Jay was doing. Oh, you should have heard Jay. So great job.
Appreciate
great
that.
Job. Man. Yeah. We've got the finals resuming tonight, as I've said a number of times. Kyrie Irving going back to Boston. That's been a thing for him. He has struggled in the Mavs' 2 road losses to open these finals, averaging 14 points on 35.1% shooting, providing lots of ammunition for a fan base that despises him. Although I think some have said they thought it would be even louder in there. Yesterday, Kyrie was talking to the media about where things went wrong for him. He said, in hindsight, he should have had more respect for the Celtics' history, going back to when he was traded to the Celtics. Quote, "You have to show your respect here. I think that's what I struggled with initially, was figuring out how I'm going to be a great player here while winning championships and also leading a team and selflessly joining the Celtics organization, or the cult that they have."
Kyrie's one of a kind, isn't he? Them boys got a cult over there in Boston.
I should have had more respect for their organization and the cult.
The cult.
That they're
not the tradition, the cult.
Right, that they're running here. That's what they expect you to do as a player. They expect you to see. He starts out, it's almost like he's saying something nice, right? Like, I should have. Then he says, they expect you to seamlessly buy into the Celtics pride, buy into everything Celtics. And if you don't, then you'll be outed. I'm one of the people that's on the outs. I'm perfectly fine with that. You know what I mean? I did it to myself. They don't welcome me with a warm embrace. So it's classic Kyrie. Now, he also did an interview with somebody, I think since then, and he put a little different spin on this. He talked about how difficult his early days in Boston were, because he said his grandfather had passed away. And he said he did a lot of soul searching, and obviously it was very difficult for him. But this is just, it's just classic Kyrie, isn't it? Because it's like, well, yeah, I should have maybe dealt with things differently, but it wasn't my fault because I didn't buy into their cult.
It's Kyrie being Kyrie.
It is.
Yeah, for sure. And it's not surprising. It's something that, I wish Drapes was here to talk about this a little bit, because he could talk about the Boston Celtics lore, but one word can change the meaning of, the trajectory of where you're trying to go in a conversation. It's interesting. I mean, I can see it as a cult. I can understand where Kyrie is coming from. Now, I'm not going to say that, but I think what he was trying to say, and I don't put words in his mouth, maybe just tradition and the way they go about things.
Yeah.
And, the Boston Celtic family, the lore. And he's like, listen, man, Kyrie is the cat. I'm going to always be me and do me.
I'm going to be me, and I'm not going to assimilate. I'm not going to do things the way you want me to do them, just because people have always done them that way.
Yes. I'm marching, as they say, march to the own beat of your drum, right? And Kyrie's that guy. And that a lot of times when you are the person who is separate, or the person that's on the outlier, you're the outlier. A lot of times people like to use, adjectives and adverbs of you're weird. you're a little different.
Yeah.
You hear all these different things, these descriptions. And so I think that's the thing with Kyrie. And plus the antics. Like Kyrie infuses more, flame to the fire because he's got the antics to go along with it. He says
because he burned a little sage? And I think that's when he was with the Nets.
Yes.
And he went back to Boston.
Yes.
To deal with some of the cultish bad vibes.
Yes. But even then, it's, the earth is flat. Like he's got a bunch of stuff.
I know.
Kyrie is kind of just added fuel to the fire.
Are you trying to? Yeah. He said he wished that he would have made an effort to establish relationships with some of the players from the Celtics' record-tying 17 NBA championship teams instead of expecting them to reach out to him.
I guess, man.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. Well, all he's got to do is play well tonight.
Kyrie is and tell me, does Kyrie touch you? Like, he doesn't bother me. A lot of people are bothered by Kyrie. Kyrie is just one of them guys. I just let Kyrie do Kyrie, and whatever he says is like, okay, I'll take it with a grain of salt and I'll move on. But a lot of people are bothered by Kyrie.
I wasn't really bothered by him. I had those, although, like you say, that when he would do things like the flat earth, I'd have those. I'd wonder, is he mean that? Does he not mean that? But he didn't really bother me until he backed that very controversial documentary that was very offensive to Jewish. Yeah, anti-Semitic. Yeah, that bothered me. And that's still, I think it maybe we overlooked some of that a little too conveniently.
Agreed.
So I'm never going to completely forget that. That bothered me. But the rest of it, I'm glad that he's at least gotten the narrative to the point where we can appreciate him as a basketball player more again.
Yeah.
Because he's so phenomenal when he plays well.
I think going to Dallas has allowed him to do that because he's not the guy. Like, and he wasn't necessarily the guy in Boston, but the pressure was on him a little more. Plus, he had kind of recruited guys to come this way. And then for sure, when he went to Brooklyn, a lot of the weight was on him just based on it. He didn't play. And talking about, Kyrie and the COVID situation, he was one of those guys, and then on top of that, it seemed like he kind of left KD to dry in Brooklyn. So a lot of people rubbed the wrong way when it came to that.
I think that's why Harden left, supposedly, is because he was just tired of
Kyrie's
not wanting to get vaccinated, so he's not there.
Yeah.
It's like, we're supposed to do this. We can't do it if you're not here.
Yeah. And again, I think for me, that's basketball stuff. That's Kyrie being Kyrie. I'm not in the inner circle when it comes to that.
Yeah.
So I don't know those things. But he doesn't bother me like he bothers a lot of people. I also don't think, and this sounds crazy, and follow me where I'm going, Kyrie is a star. I believe he feels he's a superstar, but I think people see him, he should be a superstar, but he doesn't act that way. And so I think that's the other thing is most people look at him as like, oh man, kind of like the Kobe Shaq thing. And Shaq, I'm not saying Shaq wasn't a superstar because he was the guy for the league for a long time, but I think people expect more out of Kyrie. And so when that happens, it's like, oh man, you could do a lot better. You could be greater than what you really are. There's stuff, you're leaving meat on the bone. And I think that's why people kind of look at Kyrie the way they do, on top of, again, he's also throwing kerosene right on the fire.
Absolutely.
Like, please say what you want to say. He goes out there and talks. I mean, there's so many different times over the last 10 years you could point to Kyrie. Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Yeah, he still has a chance here. Their narrative, like I say, in my opinion, it's clearly shifting back to a more favorable view of him. I don't know that it's ever going to be what it was. But this year, if he had a chance, and he still technically has that chance to win a championship, there'd be a lot of redemption for him. And I think we agree. I talk about how this could still be a series. It looks like they're pretty much done. But if somehow, especially if they were to win now, they were to come from behind.
Oh, yeah.
And he would be obviously one of the driving forces of that. He could still scrub a lot of that away. And some of those things would be forgotten. But I doubt it.
I don't see it.
It's him.
Yeah, I don't see it, man.
Yeah.
Kyrie's a different dude.
And he doesn't seem overly concerned with scrubbing up his image. I give him credit for that.
Because I think he sees himself differently than most people. And you have to when you kind of, and I use this word, an outsider, when it comes to, he is on the court a star, a superstar in reality. it should have been in the making. He just hasn't handled himself, and he hasn't proven to be that on the basketball floor. Like, people for Kyrie is like, oh my goodness, he's got the greatest ball handle. Most people consider him one of the best ball handlers to ever play the game. And at the same time, it's kind of like something's off, something's missing. He hasn't fulfilled his destiny of what people believed he was coming, out of Duke. Mm-hmm. And so I think he's always leaving people wanting more. Mm-hmm. And then the fact that he also does his own stuff, I think people just kind of look at it as like, Kyrie, I'm looking for something else.
I'll say this for him. He's not going out of his way to try to get people to like him.
No.
I
respect that, though.
Yeah, I do too. This is me. Deal with it.
Yep.
Yeah. When we come back, Leandro Barbosa says the Kings got a little too comfortable last year. How big a problem was that? Next on Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA3 Weather Center. It'll be breezy early Monday evening, but that wind will weaken overnight. Temperatures drop into the mid-50s. Slight breeze Tuesday morning, but a calm afternoon with temperatures climbing into the mid-80s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
Shop Folsom Lake Kia for special offers right now. I'm Coach Doug Christie urging you to visit my friends at Folsom Lake Kia and save big on your next new or certified pre-owned vehicle right now. Visit FolsomLakeKia.com.
Ad paid for by AG Marketing Group. Attention timeshare owners. If you need to get rid of your timeshare for any reason, please listen to the following message. Getting out of a timeshare commitment is not easy, and it takes time. But we specialize in helping consumers legally get rid of their expensive timeshares forever. Can't get the vacation dates that work for you? Maybe you felt taken advantage of or forced into the timeshare? Maybe you just can't continue to shoulder those monthly payments any longer. If you need to eliminate your timeshare commitment, then you need to take down this number, 800-823-1687. We will safely and legally get rid of your timeshare payments forever, all with a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Don't continue to let your timeshare be a financial burden to you and your loved ones. Call us now at 800-823-1687. The call is free. The consultation is free. Call 800-823-1687. That's 800-823-1687. Again, 800-823-1687.
I can't believe tax season is here already. Look at all this info I have to enter.
Phil's small accounting firm is growing in numbers.
Why didn't I take that typing class in high school?
A data entry specialist could really help him in a crunch.
I got blisters on my fingers.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
The light is fading, your hands are sore, and the last tool has been put away. Now is the time to feel the satisfaction that comes with a job well done. But when you get your tools from Harbor Freight, something about the job feels a little different. Your wallet. Because we believe that everyone deserves hardworking tools at hardworking prices. And that's what we have here. So, whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Celebrate Sacramento Rivercats baseball during our 25th anniversary season. Pick your favorite weekly promotion, giveaway game, or theme night, and join the fun at Sutter Health Park. Stick around post-game every Friday and Saturday night as we light up the sky with the brightest fireworks in town. For a full promotion schedule and to buy tickets, visit rivercats.com. We'll see you there.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Save on rows and rows of new Hondas during our giant summer sale at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Hurry in and save on our best selection of new Hondas. Each is priced to sell now. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on a giant selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Ridgeline, Civics, and Accords with low finance and lease options. Get to Folsom Lake Honda or go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
My good friends, Dr. Jack Friedlander and Dr. Pash in Roseville and in San Francisco are offering not only confidence, not only security, but also the ability, if you ain't insecure, to go from the roster to the all-star team. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about UpsizeMatters.com. Time after time, vote after vote, circumference, or as we call it, girth, is consistently ranked as the most important attribute. And Dr. Jack and Dr. Pash can give you a free consultation. The procedure can be done on the same day as your consultation with immediate results. It's non-surgical. It's virtually pain-free, safe, effective, long-lasting, semi-permanent, and doctor-performed. For more information, go to UpsizeMatters.com. Go to UpsizeMatters.com. Make that change. Make the all-star team. Get
Saturday. No home runs, though. Kind of surprised none of the athletes hit any dingers, Jay. Nobody went yard?
Nah, nobody dialed 9 long distance. You know, for people who remember, we used to have to dial 9 for long distance. That was something we used to say in baseball. I'm going dialing 9, baby. I'm going long distance. Yeah. Chicks dig the long ball, but nobody was nobody dialed 9. Corey Vine probably hit the furthest, maybe. I feel like somebody else yanked him. Maybe Anthony Manuel had a deep shot.
I only saw a couple highlights, and I won't mention any names. I saw a lot of swings that were not, great. They weren't great. They were swings, obviously, from people that don't play a ton of softball, which is fine. But yeah, there wasn't. I'm guessing it wasn't a real offensive afternoon.
No, I think it was 9-6 final score.
Wow.
Yeah, and even the last inning, I weaseled my way because it was Team White and we were down.
Yeah.
I got 4 outs instead of 3. I was politicking for 5 outs.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you pinch hit or something.
No. They had thought about it, though, but we were waiting to see if they got closer.
Yeah.
Like if there were a couple on and, it was close to tie the game, then I was going to step in. And that was actually something we had talked about. But, yeah, no one, like I said, Corey Vine hit the ball. He's a baseball player.
Yeah.
Former ball player with the Mets organization. He hit the ball but deep a few times. But I will say this, and you can go to my Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it, JRJ Show.
At JRJ
Show. Yeah, JAYRJAY Show. I took like a picture coming from left center field. If you've ever been to Sutter Health Park, that's where the dugouts are. Excuse me, not the dugouts, the clubhouses are. Coming out of left center, I took a video of the field before the storm. And I was right there on the warning track. The fence was like 10 feet in front of that. So it was pretty deep for people, like you said, who aren't that handy with the baseball bat.
Yeah. You got to put those temporary fences in for a softball
Yes,
game.
and they did.
Oh, okay.
They did.
Yeah.
But the other part, too, and this is something that a lot of people don't understand, softball right now is like a thing. It's a hot thing. And so there are different levels to bats and balls. I'm not sure the Jug Life family knew that, but if they didn't, someone next year, and maybe it may be me, I might have to go to them and tell them, like, look, we got to bring, and I don't want to get into the whole jargon, but we got to go get the hottest balls.
We got to get some
and the hottest bats. Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely.
It's not even a hot bat anymore.
No, it is. They got a couple of them. Yeah. In ASA.
Yeah.
They're okay in senior league too, but yeah, there's some other way hotter bats like Easton Tantrum, when we're talking about, and again, there's 2, 3, 4 different levels of softball. There's some hot levels and hot balls, bats, but yeah, they could have got some melees.
What's it going to cost me? Let's say right now, we've been talking about a softball team here. What if I got talked into it? All right, yeah, I'm going to play. Haven't played in a while. I'm going to play, but I don't have a bat. I want to buy a bat. What's it going to cost me to get a decent softball bat?
Well,
decent.
If we get it together here, we're going to play ASA/USA, right? Which is kind of the normal softball.
Yeah.
That's the least hottest ball and bat, right?
Okay.
A decent bat probably going to hit you for about 200.
What?
Yeah, easy work. Yeah, and that's like everybody in ASA right now is swinging a company called Monster, Monsta.
Yeah.
Everybody's swinging Monster in ASA USA. There's a brand called Pure. I swing Pure, and
assuming we'll have team bats.
And Jay gonna have his own 4 or 5 out there because I get down like that. But it's gonna cost you that. Mikan is still cool. ASA Worth has still got some hot bats. It just depends on what you like to swing, though.
Right.
Like Louisville's got some Genesis. They some hot bats out there right now. ASA. Mm-hmm. It just depends on what you want to swing.
Okay.
Because we're not playing senior, we're not playing what they call U-Trip, which is a different league. And, when it all really comes down to it, it's just about how high you could throw the ball, how hot the ball is versus the bat, like compressions and stuff like that. I ain't trying to get into all that type of stuff, but yeah.
So they were kind of oblivious to that aspect of it.
Yeah.
Just out to playing softball.
They're just out there.
Yeah.
But if you want to pump a little more entertainment, that's why we're going to holler at the Jug Life family next year and let them know, put a little,
livelier ball?
Yes.
For certain circumstances?
Yes. You see what I'm saying? Entertainment purposes.
Like the Colorado Rockies used to do.
That part.
When they were way behind, all of a sudden, man, the ball's really flying now.
Yes, sir. When that thing's wound up just a wee bit tighter. Yeah.
Go get the bouncy balls.
Come on. Deflate gate.
Yeah.
I mean, for entertainment purposes, I think that's how you spice it up a little more too. Mm-hmm. Because you couldn't have told me. If Mike Brown would have hit a dinger, that place would have went crazy.
Right.
That type of stuff.
Yeah.
Man.
Do you know there are people that said, I don't know if it's true, but there are people that thought the Rockies did that. I think Tony La Russa talked about it. I think John Miller talked about it. There were people that thought when the Rockies were way behind, all of a sudden the ball would start jumping and people thought, oh yeah, they got balls in the humidor, but then they got the other balls. And if it's a late innings and they're behind, look out.
Ain't that one.
Because here come the other balls.
Right.
And all of a sudden, wow.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you thinking about getting that new bat? Or what's up, man?
I was until I asked you how much it cost.
And honestly, that is on the cheaper side of an
I get you.
That's, Jay doing some research for you and finding something that's going to be right, solid. Yeah, for sure. 2 and above, but we can find some sales and stuff. We'll figure out, 185. I'll make a phone call to a person or two.
Yeah. We'll get some good endorsement deals.
Yeah, that part too.
Right.
We should be calling, Monster and Peter and Louisville and,
for all I know, the roster's full.
Company.
They may already have filled out the roster.
What roster?
Of the softball team here.
Here?
Yeah.
Man, come on, brother. You don't think you're on that roster?
I don't know anymore, Jay.
Doesn't matter. If they want me to be on a roster, then the drive guys come with me.
I'm just trying to make contact. I'm just up there, just like when I play golf. I'm just trying to make contact. I'm just trying to go the other way.
Oh, you spraying it? You going oppo, baby?
If I have to.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a couple cats going oppo out there. I like that.
We had some interesting comments on the Kings season from Leandro Barbosa, Kings assistant coach. He was talking to Monty Poole. Of course, Monty covered the Warriors when Leandro Barbosa played for the Warriors. This is an interesting question from Monty Poole and then Leandro Barbosa on where the Kings are, where they were last year, where they need to go from here.
What have the Kings learned from the last 2 years?
Experience. I think we have a new generation, new players, and it's different than the old era, So they're just learning every single year, you can't get too comfortable. We got comfortable this year. We lost some games that we shouldn't. And so they learn. If you don't learn, you fail. So I hope this year we come up with a different mindset, and not getting so comfortable like we did, and win the games that we have to. And we'll see what happens at the end of the regular season.
So the Kings got comfortable and they need a new mindset. Is that alarming? We'll answer that. Also look at what a free agent deal for Malik Monk is going to look like next with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Whitey here, reminding you that not all gas grills are created equal. Bring out all the delicious flavors in your grilled meats with the amazing Napoleon Prestige and Prestige Pro line of outdoor cookers. My Napoleon Stainless Steel Pro Series gas grill has turned me into a grilling pro with features other grills cannot match. They're built different, built better, built to last. Made with premium stainless steel that boasts quality and a lifetime warranty. I may never want to cook indoors again. Napoleon grills and accessories are now available at your nearby Amy's, Ace Hardware in Sacramento, and now El Dorado.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopier.com. Get ready to fuel your spirit of adventure with Kia Vacaville Summer Sticker Sales Event. It's time to crank up the excitement. Calling all thrill seekers. Are you ready for an adrenaline-packed journey? Introducing the Kia Telluride, the ultimate companion for your next adventure. Picture this. Blazing trails through uncharted territories, conquering the wild with the power and precision of the Kia Telluride. With Kia Vacaville, you can join the expedition and experience the thrill of off-road exploration like never before. With its rugged design and cutting-edge features, the Kia Telluride is your passport to unforgettable adventures. Don't let this opportunity pass you by. Head to Kia Vacaville today and gear up for the adventure of a lifetime during their summer sticker sales event. Your adventure starts now. Kia Vacaville, where every journey is an adventure. Visit Kia Vacaville today. Model availability, lease options, and features may vary. Please visit Kia Vacaville for more details.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Any golfer would be thrilled to listen to Jack Nicklaus talk, and I had to tap the enthusiasm brakes a bit when I had a chance to interview him. But over the course of 40-plus years, Nicklaus wrote enduring words in Golf Digest magazine. Max Adler compiles some of the best. Nicklaus says, "When I putt, I hold my breath before initiating the stroke to keep my head and body still." About putting, he said, "I visualize the putter shaft as being extremely limber, almost as flexible as a length of rope, which means the only way I can get the club head to swing truly is to stroke putts very softly." He said, "The harder I want to hit a shot, the slower I try to begin the swing." About the game, he said, "The key to playing well is to understand who you are as a person and then manage that. I'm finding now more than ever that the game of a lifetime can give you the time of your life without ever striking a shot." Sounds pretty much like life itself. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
At the Good Feet store, we take pain very seriously. Whether in the foot, knee, hip, or back, Good Feet makes over 300 styles, flexibilities, and sizes of pain-relieving arch supports. With 26 bones, 30 joints, and over 100 muscles, tendons, and ligaments in each foot, a lot can go painfully wrong. So there's a trained arch support specialist at each Good Feet store to give you a precision fit. Come in for a free fitting and test walk. No appointment necessary. Good Feet arch supports are HSA, FSA eligible.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your flagship station for the Beam Team.
Should we light the beam? Light the beam, baby.
Sactown Sports.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
Hey, guess what? Kristaps Porzingis is listed as available tonight. we're seeing some video of him now working out before the game. He doesn't look like he's moving especially freely to me, Jay. I don't know. Could be sandbagging one way or the other. But the official word on Kristaps Porzingis, he's available for tonight as the Celtics try to close out the NBA Finals against the Mavs in Boston. We've been talking about the Sacramento Kings. We just heard some comments from Leandro Barbosa regarding how the Kings were too comfortable last year, how hopefully they learned that they have to come in with a different attitude. Before we get back to that, I want to just touch on the fact that Jason Anderson and the B reporting today that the Chinese national team will be playing against the Kings as part of the upcoming California Classic. So the Kings, the Hornets, the Spurs, and Team China are going to be playing at Golden One Center. And then at Chase Center, it's going to be the Warriors, the Lakers, and the Miami Heat. And then the Warriors and the Kings, as you probably know, will play one game in San Francisco. And that game is going to be July. I lost it now.
The 10th?
Yeah, I think
Wednesday
they're going to play
10th.
on the 10th. Yeah.
So this, if we looking at Saturday, July 6th, and this year's a little different. This is the second time they're going to play in Golden State at the Chase Center. Split duty here this year, because normally it's either in Sacramento and or in San Francisco, but this year is going to be split duty. So Saturday, the Lakers and Kings play here at 1:30. 3:30, the Warriors and Heat play at the Chase Center. Sunday, 1:30, the Kings play the Heat. That'll be here. Sunday, 3:30, the Warriors play the Lakers at the Chase Center.
Which day is
Sunday?
Which date?
July 7th.
Okay. Because I think that might. Are you sure that's this year's schedule you're looking at?
I believe I am. Let me see. June 17th, 2024. Yep. It says day 1, July 6th, day 2, July 7th, day 3, July 10th. What you looking at?
I'm looking at the B today. They have July 6th, Kings versus the Chinese national team at 7:30 p.m.
God, this thing is messed up, man.
July 7th, Kings versus Spurs at 7 p.m. July 9th, Kings versus Hornets at 7 p.m.
See that, and that's what I was asking in between the break here.
Yeah.
They have it listed like the way the NBA has it listed. I'm looking at the NBA.com compared to you're reading Jason Anderson. They have it listed as times where it's going to be like split the same day, but 2 games split, 2 at each stadium.
I see.
At each arena.
Doesn't really make sense because it's 2 totally different venues.
Yeah, this is.
Yeah.
We got to get a better grasp on this, Whitey, because
then as you said, July 10th at Chase, the Kings and Warriors will play. July 10th, they'll be playing in San Francisco.
Right.
Yeah.
7 p.m. We got that right. Okay.
Chinese national team is going to be part of the group here in Sacramento as part of the California Classic.
Yeah, this is I'm gonna hopefully, and I know we're getting this information today. But I don't think, it sounds confusing a little bit right now still as I'm reading here and been looking at it, because the Warriors announced their own schedule. The Kings announced their own schedule. Then the NBA has kind of put their schedule together too. And you can get multiple passes, not only, and this is crazy because I'm looking, you can buy multiple passes for Chase and Golden One together. How about that? How does that make sense?
I don't. It doesn't to me,
because they're playing at the same times, but in different play. Man, this is confusing.
Yeah. Fans can also, according to the B, get discounted admission to Sutter Health Park for the 4th on the field fireworks show. Single day tickets begin at $29, available at kings.com/CA Classic, and a limited quantity of the 3-day passes are still available, according to Jason Anderson and the Sacramento Bee.
I guess all we care about is what's going on here at the Golden One Center.
Yes.
But the Kings play the Warriors at Chase Center on the 10th.
You're right. Yes.
So we have to care about that.
Right.
Yeah, we got to get a better grab. We might have to revisit this next hour, because I gotta do my research here, because this is a little everywhere right now. I don't think the NBA's got this together.
Okay. We did some research earlier on Jaylen Brown, who could become the first MVP without a shoe deal in 45 years. We cleaned that up pretty good. Found out that's true.
Yeah. There's a couple years I still looked on here too, and I haven't been able to get down there. But the other two I have in question is 89 Joe Dumars. We got to see what he wore because I have no clue. And then friend of the show, Said Maxwell, 1981. I don't know what Said wore. I would venture to say Converse in 1981, but that could be NC83's Moses Malone. You know, people were rocking Puma a little bit.
Right.
Brooks were kind of rocking at that time. Be interesting. Like those 3 or 4 years, I'm still a little skeptical.
You know who wore Puma? I think Walt Frazier.
Walt Frazier did.
Puma.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I got some Walt
really?
Frazier Pumas. Yeah, I do.
What do you make of what Leandro Barbosa had to say? We want to play that one more time.
Let's spin it out again.
Leandro
DJ.
Barbosa and, of course, Monty Poole, NBC Sports Bay Area.
Experience, you know, I think we have a new generation, new players, and it's different than the old era, you know. So they just learning every single year, you know. I mean, you can't get too comfortable. We got comfortable this year. We lost some games that we shouldn't. And so they learn. If you don't learn, you fail. So I hope this year we come up with a different mindset, you know, and not getting so comfortable like we did, and win the games that we have to. And we'll see what happens at the end of the regular season.
I hope we come up with a different mindset. Last year we got too comfortable. I know that Styles and Watkins were talking about this today, and it's easy to see why some people might hear that and be a little alarmed, Jay. Does that alarm you at all? Does it frustrate you at all? Wait, the Kings were too comfortable? They need a different mindset? Why are we talking about this now? Why wasn't something done at the time?
No, because we've heard it multiple times here on the Drive, guys. JaVale McGee was on this show 2 weeks ago, Monday. He said the same thing. We've heard it throughout the season, having assistant coaches on. You know, you could hear it in some of the comments they made. We have to, Coach Jay Triano, one of the things that I heard from him was like, look, man, we play down too much. You know, Coach Doug Christie said it a couple times on this show. I'm looking for a little more energy from my guys. You know, there's key words, there's buzz statements that that you have to pay attention to. Doesn't surprise me. It doesn't alarm me because it happened. The alarm should have been said, as you said, 5 months ago. Ain't no need to pay attention to it now. We've been paying attention to it. You can tell me as a Kings fan, when you saw them lose the Charlotte Hornets without everybody, you weren't alarmed.
Very alarmed.
So no, it doesn't surprise me. If that's the question you're asking me, does it surprise me? No.
I understand the need for the Kings to have more dog in them. That's what JaVale McGee says. I understand that. You and Kyle talk about that a lot. They need some more toughness, maybe a little less passivity. I know some look at this as maybe an issue concerning leadership. Maybe the team does need somebody who's more of a vocal leader on the court. To me, though, the biggest issue is more one of talent. I see teams, anybody who's watched bad teams, and fans of Sacramento, unfortunately, have had the opportunity to watch a lot of bad teams over the years. And it's one of the common themes. Teams that get overmatched physically a lot, let me phrase it that way. Often they talk about, we need to communicate more. We need a different mindset. And those things are important, but sometimes it's easier to say, we need a different mindset, because that makes it sound like, well, we could have done better. We just didn't have the right mindset. That's easier than saying we were not as good as the other team. Yeah. And to me, that was the bigger issue for the Kings last year. Even though they won, 46 games, to me, there was too often when they were physically overmatched. The Pelicans were the best example of that. You could say, we didn't communicate when we played the Pelicans. We needed a different mindset. And maybe those things would help. But bottom line is the Kings physically didn't match up well with the Pelicans, and I think we saw that a lot last year. The Kings needed more length and they needed more depth, and I think that's why they were vulnerable as often as they were, and that's one of the reasons they gave up so many big leads. Attitude had something to do with it, but to me, the fact that the roster wasn't better was a bigger issue.
Yeah, I think that's something you've been preaching all season, and that's why I said when you propose the question is, does it surprise me? Am I alarmed by the fact that Coach Leandro Barbosa is saying that this team got too comfortable, too relaxed? in his form, that's playing down to the competition.
Yeah.
Again, I go back to what JaVale McGee said on this show. We played down to the competition, and we played good teams. We played up to the competition. That's part of what Coach Barbosa said. We got too relaxed when we play Charlotte, when we play Detroit, when we play Atlanta, when we play teams like that. We got too relaxed, and they took advantage of us. You know what I mean? When we played Portland, we got too relaxed, and they took advantage of it. And so it doesn't surprise me. We're talking about Barbosa, someone who's coming from Golden State where they don't play relaxed.
Right.
Especially in the time Barbosa was around. Oh, they were, foot to the gas pedal. It didn't matter who was out there. You could have put an all-star team. They felt like they were going to go out and beat them. And so it doesn't surprise me what Coach Barbosa is saying, but I'm totally on the same boat as you. This team needs way more talent. They are depleted of talent.
And then they still are going to have to play harder too.
Yes.
On top of that.
Yes. But I don't think when you say play harder, White, does that mean play down to your competition, or did you not see the energy a lot of times from this team, like not putting forth the effort? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying everyone has to play a little more like Keon Ellis played last year.
Okay.
I think especially last year that was necessary because they were at a disadvantage sometimes physically. I'm not saying the Kings didn't try. It's a fine line there. A lot of times guys think they're trying when, you could actually try harder. The Kings, I think this year, when they started playing well, they started relaxing a little bit. They remembered how well things went the year before. And this was a team, because of the shortcomings they had roster-wise, they had to play harder than the other team every night to have their best chance to win. That's hard. It's almost impossible to do, but that was the way this team needed to play last year.
And it's a great point. It's kind of one of those things, and, here goes Coach Gleason giving me that coach talk. I'd rather have, and I'll just put it out there, I'd rather have 5 guys who's going to try than 5 talented guys. That's kind of like that coach speak, right? And so when there may be a misguided view of inside the building, and we don't know this, but I like how you propose that because it just made me think about it. Maybe the view with inside the building is we are talented enough to compete against the likes of the Pelicans, compete against the likes of the Suns, and, compete against the likes of Boston. But in reality, we don't have that type of talent. And so to make up for that talent, you got to play harder.
Yeah.
And I think that may be this is the first time I thought about it in that form, is maybe there's a misconception inside that building in the form of we have the talent to keep up with the Celtics. Because when we play the Celtics, we play them well because the effort is a maximum ability compared to when we play Charlotte. We'll out-talent these guys, but they came in and our effort didn't show it. I hadn't thought about that, White. That's a great perspective.
That was one of the things I thought I heard coming out of the players-only meeting. Really, parse what everyone was saying. I thought there were a lot of people in there saying, we have to play this way every night. And again, it's hard to do, and it's no guarantee of success. But if you don't play that way, you're not going to be very successful. When we come right back, what a free agent deal for Malik Monk will look like. It's next, Sactown Sports.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave inviting you to make the switch to electric this spring and save big with American Energy. Stay ahead of those spiking energy bills this summer with up to $9,000 in rebates on a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. American Energy is providing huge rebates from SMUD as well as spring specials by installing one of many incredibly efficient AC options available to you right now. Get rid of those fluctuating gas bills in the winter and switch to year-round all-electric with American Energy. Let them perform a free in-home energy efficiency analysis and see where they can help you save for the warmer months ahead. These guys are the best. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ from the Better Business Bureau. Learn more by calling 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Do you know where you at? Let me give you some advice before you get to
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
It's so much more than that.
Going to turn our attention back to the 49ers bottom of the hour. Taylor Worth from NBC Sports Bay Area is going to join us. But for now, we're getting ready for NBA free agency, which could actually start tonight. according to the rules set by the new CBA, free agency can start the day after the finals end. If the finals end tonight, if Boston wins, then 9 o'clock our time tonight would be midnight. Technically, that would be tomorrow. And at that point, teams will be able to start negotiating with their own free agents. The Kings have some free agents, most notably, of course, Malik Monk. I don't know how much they can do in terms of negotiating with him. Jay is suggesting they find a few ways to find a little extra something they can offer around the margins. But anyway, one way or the other, it can actually start tonight. Here's what a free agent deal for Malik Monk could look like. Bleacher Report has Malik Monk going to the Orlando Magic. This is Eric Pincus. He's just like, these are some things I think could happen. It's guessing based on what he knows. He's not trying to say, ooh, watch for it. I have a source says this is going to happen. But he says these are things that very well could happen. His predictions include Malik Monk to the Orlando Magic, 4 years, $86 million, starting at $20 million a year. Little rich for the Kings. Well, they just aren't allowed to.
Just a little more they can order. I mean, offer rather.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just can't do it.
Not by much, but it's enough.
Yeah. Then you factor in of course, the taxes in Florida. And I know a lot of people say, I don't know if they really think this or if they're just hoping it. Malik likes it here. And so he's going to end up staying here because he likes it so much. But, all signs to me indicate that even his own teammates are suggesting that, if you get a chance to get a lot more money, you got to take it. You got to go somewhere else. We love having you here. We love you. You love it here. You got to go get the money. Yeah. Show me the money.
That's right. Nothing wrong with that. That's why I say on the fringe, brother, you better bring it to it. You better make that pot a little sweeter on the outside. Like, I can't give you the fat filet mignon, but I can, instead of giving you these dead these dead potatoes over here, let me spice it up a little bit. Let me throw a little bacon bit on there. Let me give you some sour cream. They got to do something a little different to make up the difference, because as you said, even the taxes in California, he's about to get slapped across the head like Caitlin Clark.
Flagrant one, not a flagrant two. Bleacher Report also says Klay Thompson is headed to Orlando. Bleacher Report says Tobias Harris is also headed to Orlando along with Malik Monk.
Well, that's big money, Orlando.
They got a lot of money to
Mickey
spend.
Mouse spending that cash.
I don't know about that.
I'll take a few of them youngsters from Orlando coming this way, though. If you're going to put all of that over there in Orlando, that means somebody got to be, Cole Anthony, Jalen Suggs, somebody leaving.
What did you think of Klay scrubbing the Warriors from his Instagram account?
Doesn't mean nothing to me. We've had this conversation before, and I think Drape's jumped on me about, and maybe you were even on this side of the fence about, that is personal, big fella. Like, you got to, that's almost disrespectful to unfollow somebody social network wise. I'm like Kyrie in a lot of social network stuff. I'm the outlier. Social network doesn't matter to me as much. I will say it is one of my weaknesses because people get paid through social network, right? And so for me, it doesn't mean anything. He follows Santa Cruz Warriors, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he does.
Oh.
He still follows Santa Cruz.
I know Draymond Green says he thinks it's hilarious that Klay's doing that. I know Brian Windhorst said today the key to the deal, the talks with the Warriors, may be not so much the money, but the length of the contract. So I think the Orlando Magic is going to be, they're in position to, and I think they have the motivation to offer Klay a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean,
and a really nice contract for a guy that, remember last year, the Warriors finally said, yeah, you got to come off the bench for a spell. By the end of the year, he was starting again, as we know, because he didn't make a shot against the Kings in the play-in. But it was an up and down year for Klay, emotionally as well as physically.
Yeah, well, we know definitely physically played a huge part on Klay, and that transfers into emotionally. When you're not able to play the way you want to, or what you at the high level you've been expected and used to being played, it plays mind tricks with you, for sure.
Did you know that he came back? What year would that have been? Was that, I guess, the year they won the championship? Was that the year he came back? I could have my years mixed up, and I apologize. But the point is, the year he finally came back in, I think, January, and he was up and down that year, finished the year, played reasonably well. The next year he came back and he was not in very good shape at all. And he admitted, he said, I was so freaked out about playing pickup and getting hurt. I didn't play
ball.
And he was not in shape to start the next year.
It's a mental thing.
Yeah.
You talk to people who've had Achilles tears, ACLs, one of the first things they talk about is mentally, you still feel as if you're injured in certain ways. It's tough to test that, injury. And so, yeah, I understand, especially for Klay, because remember, he got hurt, then he came back in the offseason and got hurt in a pickup game, or practicing or whatever they were doing. So, yeah, it's like,
he tore the ACL in the finals. Then right before the next season was going to start, he tore the Achilles. Yeah.
And I remember they had hit Social Network, and I don't remember who it was, if it was Shams, Chris Haynes, Woj, and they were like, news coming out of, Los Angeles, I believe is where he was at, right, Klay?
Yeah.
And he had to be carried off, like literally carried off. And people are like, oh, man, it must be the Achilles. It must be an ACL. Then, a couple of hours later, whatever, we heard it was probably the Achilles. And I was like, oh, man, that's tough.
Yeah.
The
only other guy that I can think of that went through 2 catastrophic injuries, lower body injuries, in a relatively short amount of time, and I could be missing a lot of guys, but DeMarcus had something kind of similar.
Yeah, he had
the Achilles and then like his quad.
Yeah, something Pelican on the backside. Yeah. Or was it something and then the Achilles?
I think it was the Achilles. Wasn't it the Achilles first? Whatever it was. Anyway, there were 2, and he hasn't been the same since.
No. And he's a big fella.
Yeah, right.
Normally, big fellas don't recover that well. We saw, and this was kind of a conversational piece, is when Kevin Durant tore his Achilles. And people are like, is he going to be the same KD? Is he going to come back the same way? And he's pretty much come back. I think he's a little slower, right? He doesn't have the explosiveness as we saw Warriors KD. Like Warriors KD was peak performance.
And some of that might have happened anyway. I mean, Klay, even without the injuries, would not be the same player right now that he used to be.
Yeah, I agree. Father time, right? Yeah. Okay. I'm with you.
But, yeah, it does seem like maybe things were speeded up a little bit.
Yeah. I remember people kind of trying to figure out what, how KD was going to come back, and he's done pretty well. Like he's back to pretty close to form. Again, you'll never be the same once that Achilles, happens. And so I've said this, Klay is one of my favorite basketball players. I love to see Klay ball, especially when he was at peak Klay. Defensively, he'd get with you. I mean, of course, his shot was crazy. Klay, the squaring up to the basket for me. I love to see Klay do that. It's just picture perfect. Yeah, it's picture perfect.
And I haven't gone back and checked the video, but in my mind's eye, Klay used to be right square, as you say, perfectly square, shoulder square. And since the injury, he shoots a lot more leaners.
He does. To me, as you say, I'm with you. It feels like he falls away a little more. He used to be deadly with that through the lane, falling to one side, knocking stuff down, getting it happen. Like he was deadly with that part. As we got assistant coach Doug Christie sliding through, I'm behind the curtains.
I thought that was Doug Christie. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Doug's probably in to do some voicing of some one of his
assistant coach Doug Christie. Say what's up to Sacramento just real quick, man. See, that's him. I told you I wasn't lying. Dude, your Cali Classic schedule came out today, and I'm confused. So I'm gonna ask Coach behind glass, because I still don't even know what game I'm going to. I don't know where they playing. Like I'm lost.
All right. Is he excited about the Chinese national team playing the Kings?
That's a thumbs up.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, he's like, yeah.
Thank you, Doug.
He's all about international play.
Yeah, that's gonna be exciting. Unless we can get Doug Christie to join us, which is unlikely because he's got things to do. When we come back, we'll be catching up with Taylor Wirth on Brandon Ayuk and where the 49ers go from here next on Sactown Sports.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out SactownSports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and The Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SactownSports.com.
Eric was way behind on his taxes.
I owed a lot of money to the IRS, almost $15,000. I tried to make payments.
The IRS wasn't satisfied with Eric's efforts, so they came after him full force.
They're coming to put a lien and a hold on all my income, my home, my car. I was just overwhelmed at what to do.
Then Eric called Optima Tax Relief.
When Optima Tax got involved, the calls would stop, the threats would stop. It was easy like 1, 2, 3.
Optima Tax Relief is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and their team of expert tax professionals took care of Eric's problem.
I owe $15,000, and now my debt is clean. I don't owe anything.
Take Eric's advice.
If you have a tax problem, you need to call Optima Tax now.
Call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
My good friends, Dr. Jack Friedlander and Dr. Pash in Roseville and in San Francisco are offering not only confidence, not only security, but also the ability, if you ain't insecure, to go from the roster to the all-star team. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about UpsizeMatters.com. Time after time, vote after vote, circumference, or as we call it, girth, is consistently ranked as the most important attribute. And Dr. Jack and Dr. Pash can give you a free consultation. The procedure can be done on the same day as your consultation with immediate results. It's non-surgical. It's virtually pain-free, safe, effective, long-lasting, semi-permanent, and doctor-performed. For more information, go to UpsizeMatters.com. Go to UpsizeMatters.com. Make that change. Make the all-star team. Get your girth on.
The PGA club fitters at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio know that golf should be fun. They also know that players of all abilities will hit the ball farther and straighter, play better golf, shoot lower scores, and have more fun if they get fitted before they purchase golf clubs. Hagen Oaks delivers the same technology and major brands used to fit PGA and LPGA professionals. See how the game can be even more fun. Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio fittings are available 7 days a week. Make yours today by calling 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Grainger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At the UPS Store, we know being a small business owner means holiday time is still go time. Still get those orders shipped time. And still re-up on stamps and supplies time. That's why this upcoming holiday, while others close up shop, we'll be open. And happy to help you keep being unstoppable. Come into your local store today. Most locations are independently owned. Product, services, pricing, and hours of operation may vary. See Center for details. The UPS Store. Be unstoppable.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopier.com.
Michael Dave here for Capital Casino. Sacramento summertime heat is back. And of course, Cap Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, wants to invite everyone to soak up some air conditioning, still with the most variety of table games in the region. And as always, the best food, best service, and the best action, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. Capital Casino, of course, reminding everyone to please make sure you gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Coach Doug Christie here to remind you, if you're in the market for a new car, shop Folsom Lake Kia. Low interest rates, low payments, and zero down deals with approval of credit. Folsom Lake Kia, over 25 years, right here in Folsom.
Drive Guys, afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Wow, did you see this, Jay, on the chat? Compio says Carmichael Dave went after Doug Christie this morning. Woo. Yeah, boy, I can't imagine.
Did he?
That's like, hey, a gnat landed on you this morning, right? I mean, it's just not really something you need to get that concerned over. Drive Guy is here. It's Whitey and Jay today. Kyle Draper back with us tomorrow. Yeah, Doug Christie just popped in. He and Jay are pretty tight, and Doug had some things he had to record. I hope he was able to help you better understand the schedule for the upcoming California Classic. I know there's been some confusion over that on Jay's end, but we found out today dates and times for the games here in Sacramento, and the Kings group will also include the Chinese national team. So did Doug square any of that away for you?
Yeah, he did. He gave me a little game on how it's going to be operating. Again, I confused myself in the form of, like, I was worried about the Warriors fans and stuff like that. I should just be worried about what the Kings are. But the Kings play at Chase Center too, so I have to at least get that out there as well.
Yeah, Jess says for the Classic, 2 games at Chase Center, 1:30 and 3:30.
Yes,
then 2 games at Gold One Center at 5:30 and 7:30.
We got that.
So like you're saying, the NBA makes it sound like, oh yeah, we got this event going on here, and like in this area in Northern California, it's like, nope, you don't understand.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like it looks easy on paper. I mean, it looks confusing on paper, but common sense to me, because of course we're down in the area. Yeah, I got it.
Right.
But I don't think they had their opponents, just dialed in enough. And that was NBA.com.
Right.
We got to go with my man over at Jason Anderson Sack.
Yes. Right now, speaking of excellent reporters, our next guest covering Bay Area sports for NBC Authentic, Taylor Worth, with us. How are you today, Taylor?
Doing good, fellas. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Just want to make sure you weren't hit by any ice or anything when Camilo Duvall threw that ice chest. There are reports that somebody swung at it and hit it down the left field line. Are those true?
I can't confirm nor deny, but luckily I wasn't at the ballpark that day. But wow, what a scene, and not surprised that it got to that point.
Yeah, Taylor Worth, great follow on Twitter. Actually, a lot right now. He's writing about the Giants, of course. But Taylor, we wanted to see if you might be able to help us understand what's going on with the 49ers and Brandon Ayuk. I mean, what should the level of alarm be for 49er fans over Brandon Ayuk right now when he posts on Instagram him telling one of his college teammates that the 49ers said they don't want me? What is going on, Taylor?
Yeah, that video was interesting because, I mean, obviously, I think we all know the Niners did not say that to him. They would never tell him that. So I think that's him inferring that based on, what they've been engaging with him on certain offers. But something about the video just seemed like, there might be a little bit of context missing. It's hard to make out what exactly the extent of that conversation was, when it happened, when it took place. So I'm going to, give the benefit of the doubt and just assume that maybe there's a little bit of context missing. And reading Ayuk's tone, it also seemed like he was kind of maybe tongue-in-cheek with it. Because, obviously the Niners would never say that, but it was an interesting video, and it's another one of these strategic social media, things that we've seen with the Niners and the Warriors players recently. And, I think there's obviously a little cause for concern just because, when nothing's happening, there's a lot of chatter and pessimism starts to creep in. And, but, I wouldn't take the video and ring the alarm bells just because of that.
Yeah. Context. That's what you were saying.
That's what I was saying. Context. We didn't get the beginning, the end, the middle. Like, we just got that quick little 10-second snippet. I'm with you, Taylor, when it comes to that. But I guess following that, Cab, the question for me to you is, what is the end-all in for the 49ers and Brandon Ayuk when it comes to you? It sounds like, and we got a little info from Albert Breer of SI. He said he's hearing the team and Ayuk is going to probably settle on about $29 million. Is that what you see? And I know the wide receiver, market has definitely changed over the last couple of weeks. Do you think they settle right there?
Yeah, the market has exploded, and there's been reports that the Niners' latest offer was $26 million, I believe, and there's also been talk that Ayuk seeking $30 million, which, if we remember not too long ago, Tyrese set that market around 30 million a few years ago, and we were just like, oh my God, what a number. But that's kind of the going rate for these top guys now. So I believe Ayuk's wide receiver coach came out a few weeks ago and was like, hey, if they offered him the Amon-Ra deal, he would be there tomorrow. And that's 4 years, 120, that's 30 a year. I know the Niners would love not to pay him $30 million a year, but if they're at 26 right now, 29 definitely seems like a reasonable number. I still predict that they're going to work out a deal. They have a reputation of paying their guys. Obviously, right now it's very quiet, and like I said, doubt starts to creep in. But I think 29 is a very fair deal. That would put him 5th, I believe, behind Tyreek and ahead of Jalen Waddle, which that's a pretty good spot for him right now. If you look at where he is as a wide receiver in the league, it's a pretty fair assumption that he's a top 10 guy right now. So I think that's a good number. It's going to be hard to see them getting to 30 just because it's such a high number. But again, if you're at 29 and he's hard set on 30, then well, $1 more million to go. Just give him 30 and call it a day. But 29 definitely seems like a very fair price for him.
Yeah, Taylor Worth joining us from NBC Sports Bay Area. Obviously, the 49ers looking not only what they have to pay this year, but next year with Brock Purdy's deal coming due. What is Trevor Lawrence's new deal? What does it mean for Brock Purdy's next contract in your estimation?
Well, I think a lot of people have been saying that 55 million a year is probably going to be the going rate. That's lower for Purdy, which is absolutely bonkers. But it's interesting with Lawrence and Purdy. There's this discourse about a number one pick versus the last overall pick, and kind of the expectations moving forward, and how their draft position might impact their contracts. And it's interesting to think that maybe as the last pick in the draft, Purdy might be kind of creeping up against his ceiling. We look at his physical traits, and is he kind of at his best kind of right now, whereas Lawrence, is more physically gifted and, has maybe more room to grow. So maybe they pay Lawrence a little bit more for that potential, whereas Brock, if he repeats what he did this year, he's obviously deserving of a $50-some-odd billion contract, but is there room for him to grow to, be worth even more? But if he has a similar season, it's hard not to see him getting $50 million a year, just because that's the market now, which is absolutely crazy, because we remember what the Niners paid Jimmy Garoppolo those years ago that made him the highest paid quarterback. That was $27 million a year.
No.
And so at this rate, it's hard not to see Brock, not breaking that $50 million per year range. But at the same time, I think it's also fair to point to, his potential versus other guys' potential. And the Niners might try and make that argument in negotiations. Like, hey, Brock's kind of at his ceiling in terms of potential. So we're going to pay him right now what he's worth versus a guy like Lawrence, who the Jaguars are kind of paying for what he could be. So that's something I think could play a factor here.
I hadn't heard that. Taylor's actually good.
We're not just going to bring Taylor in for the negotiations.
Yes. The arbitrator. He's going to bring it in. I like that.
God, no.
Taylor staying right there in Santa Clara in the 49ers, someone who did get paid. That's CMC, Christian McCaffrey, the best running back for my money in the NFL. And now we see him gracing the cover of the new Madden coming out here this upcoming year. And you wrote something on it about CMC and Madden. Is there still a curse? Is there not a curse? I know CMC has talked about.
You say no curse, right, Jay?
I say no curse. It's over. Pat Mahomes got the Super Bowl, baby. The curse is a wrap. But what's your thoughts on that, Taylor?
Yeah, I don't think there's a curse. It's silly, and it's fun to think about. And every year when it happens, everyone's like, "Oh, the Madden curse got him again." But yeah, there's been a few instances now, and Mahomes broke it. And then there's been so many examples of guys who are on the cover and then go out and have like crazy seasons, but maybe don't win the Super Bowl. And I'm not counting that as a curse, but you go out and have a career year, it doesn't really fall under the curse category for me. But I'm really looking forward to someone asking McCaffrey after maybe he fumbles in a game, like, hey, is this the Madden curse or something? Because someone's going to do it. Someone's going to ask him the question, and he's just going to absolutely give him the stink eye, or he's gonna hate hearing that. But now it's a fun thing to look at. But yeah, the curse has been broken. So Niners fans rejoice. They're cursed enough as it is. They don't need to. They don't need to worry about a Madden curse. They've had their own fair share of struggles.
We'll have to take odds. We'll have to take odds on what reporter will be the first to ask him that question.
I like that.
Taylor, before we let you go, simple question, but the 49ers were so good last year. They have to be better, one would assume. So where will 49er improvement in 2024 come from? And what areas is it reasonable to expect? And what areas do the 49ers plan to be better this year than they were last year?
I think the obvious position for me is the defensive line. They've been looking for that guy opposite Bosa for a while now, and they haven't really found exactly what they've been looking for. I think Leonard Floyd definitely could be that, but also the interior of the defensive line. We saw last year when, some of their interior guys were hurt and banged up, like the interior just got gashed on the ground. And they've also been missing, I think, DJ Jones from a few years ago. He's been an elite run stopper. And that's a guy that I think they've been missing. So I think the defensive line definitely has the potential to kind of bring them back to that 2019 form. They've always been a good defense, but they haven't reached that level since 2019. So I'm definitely looking at the defensive line, and they have some intriguing names, but they had some intriguing names last year. So that's definitely the position group for me that I think can definitely take them over the top.
Taylor, we live. We got one more, joined by Taylor Worth of NBC's Authentic. We got to talk about Klay Thompson and unfollowing just about every single thing that has to do with the Warriors besides Santa Cruz. Is there anything to it? Or are you kind of like me where, look, social network is social network and you leave it there? I know we had the Brandon Ayuk situation when you first came on. We talked about that on his TikTok. What's your thoughts on Klay Thompson unfollowing the Warriors on his social networks?
Yeah, it's one of those things that we see now, like all the time with star players in any sport. Like they go unfollow their team and their teammates, and we make a big deal out of it. But it's just kind of the nature of the business. These guys putting it out there to teams like, hey, I'm able to go. I'm to be got right now. You can come get me. I'm keeping my options open. But again, it's like Ayuk and Klay are kind of in a similar position, just in terms of star players who might not be super happy with the financial offers they've received, and kind of taking it out on social media and having some fun with it. But with Klay, it's going to be a really difficult decision to leave. He's going to play the mark. He's going to play the field. He's going to receive offers. But I would be surprised if he actually does move on this offseason. And the Warriors, they kind of have an obligation to do this and close this thing out right. And, do they want to pay this version of Klay Thompson $35 million a year? Probably not. But, at some point you gotta just, I think he wants 3 years, and he's going to have to take a pay cut. So you offer him 3 years and $105 million. I think they'll be okay with that. But, I think they have an obligation here to do right by him and the fan base, and, close it out on the right note, and get him and Draymond and Steph and Steve Kerr all going out at the same time. I think that's ideally what they'd like to do.
Taylor Worth, as we say, a great follow, NBC Sports Bay Area, covers the 49ers and the Warriors and the Giants. We appreciate your time, Taylor. Hope to talk to you again soon.
Yes, sir. Anytime, fellas.
Take care. Something interesting just happened here as we were talking with Taylor. Appreciate his time. We have, of course, the NBA Finals on, and Jason Tatum, I think was it Friday? Did you hear this? Jason Tatum, he's being asked about the Celtics and their history, and as they get ready, presumably to win this title, he said, I don't know who Cedric Maxwell is. Well,
yeah.
Not only is Cedric Maxwell the MVP of what the finals for them.
Yes.
And, yeah. But also
81.
He's an announcer. He's a broadcaster.
Yeah, he does radio.
So he travels with the team.
Yes.
So just a minute ago, Jason Tatum was out taking shots, And Cedric Maxwell came out on the floor and they shook hands, and then you could read Cedric Slim's like, okay, now do you remember who I am? So that was an unusual moment. That's kind of cringy. He's like, you have to know who he is. Not that you have to know your Celtics history. That's fine.
Right.
But he's at every game courtside.
That's bad, bit. And that just shows, and I think that answers the question of why the Celtics, that's part of the reason why the Celtics haven't won. It takes a lot to win a championship. You talk to people who have been at the precipice of it, people who have come up short, people who have won championships, and everybody to the person is like, man, it takes everything you possibly have as a team, as a one organization to win a championship. It's not just the players. It's everybody that goes along with the players. It's the family. It's the friends. It's the announcers. It's the ball boys, the team managers. It's all of that. It takes all of that to win a championship. And when you really sit back and you think about it and you listen, you're like, oh man, you just talking, you just running your mouth.
Yeah.
But when you really get down to the nuts and bolts of it, it does, man. It takes those things, those conversations with radio play-by-play, with radio analysts. It takes those conversations with like Kyle Draper and Katie Christensen TV. You just never know. And when you talk to guys like Drapes, and you're like, yeah, there are certain times and instances where I'm downstairs and player A comes down there, and you'll be surprised the conversation they want to have.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's sometimes not even about basketball. Sometimes it's about life that's affecting them. And so for that to, if that is really what it really was, where Ced Maxwell's been a part of the Celtics since before I was born.
It sure looked like a thing.
Come on, man.
Came out and they shook hands. And
No way.
Arms out like, okay.
I don't believe it,
hello.
man. I don't believe it.
And Tatum's like, yeah, okay.
I don't believe it.
Yeah.
I think that was him playing with Ced.
Really?
I think so, man.
I think it was him knowing who that guy is, but then not realizing, oh, that guy's Cedric Maxwell. I know who that guy is. I see
We
that
call
guy
him
out there.
Ced.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know it was
Ced,
him.
or they might have a cornbread. Hey, Dave, your name is Cedric? I didn't know that. Like,
right.
I've gotten that tons of times, but you got to be kidding yourself. You don't think Jason Tatum knows Cedric Maxwell is?
I don't know. I'm buying it based on what I saw.
Really?
Are you buying that? Yeah. Yeah.
We got to get Ced on and ask him about that.
Are you buying? Yeah. Are you buying that Porzingis might play tonight?
No.
He's available.
No. And even if they run him out there to, he's starting and then first dead ball, he's out. Like, no. What is he bringing to the table?
Mm-hmm. Shot blocking, 3-point shot.
He can't jump.
I know.
What do you think he's going to do?
I wish he was healthy enough to play, but
yeah,
I don't think a hobbled Porzingis is going to hurt you. We saw that in the game when he got hurt. He was dominant. There's so many things he could do that the Mavs had no answer for.
Sure.
Then as soon as he tore that, whatever it was that he tore,
retinal type thing,
at
whatever.
Both ends of the floor is like, wow. It was like the Mavs were playing 5-on-4. They can get him out of there quick enough.
Yeah, I think you sit him down. If nothing else, you sit him until you have to play him. Right now, you don't have to play him.
Would you start him though, and hopefully you get a couple threes out of him, a la Willis Reed, and then you sit him down?
If he can do
that
it.
big,
yes. If he can do it.
Just think if he makes that first three, that place is going nuts.
If he can do it, we also have to start to like we're trying to win a championship in all hands on deck right now, but this is an injury that we have no clue of what's going on. We don't want to further injure this situation, and this is.
If this is the last game, we don't carry.
Yeah, very true. But yeah, it could be, but you just don't know what it is. I'm with you. All hands on deck. If he could start and he could carry a run for 3 to 4 or 5 minutes to where that first or second dead ball is out there, we can call a quick timeout. Maybe he brings the TD guard to its feet once or twice. Yeah, I'm running him out there if he's cool with it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if the injury could get any worse.
Right. That's the other thing. Yeah. It's a good question.
Because if I'm Porzingis, as much as I want to play, this is like his fourth foot or lower extremity situation. Like every time he gets hurt, remember one time he messed up his hand, but beyond that, where it's really like set him down, it's been feet, leg, ankle, calf, hamstring, ACL, Achilles. It's something down there. It's always something.
Yeah, I know you disagree with me, and I know that I picked Boston to win and you picked Dallas, But I do think if Boston doesn't win tonight, and they should, but it's different with Porzingis out. If they don't win tonight, I think they could be in trouble because this is a golden opportunity. It all sets up for them now. It's like, all right, you won those first 3 games. Yeah, you lost one there. You kicked it, whatever. Here you are at home. This is your chance. This is what you've been working for all season long because the Celtics are masters of getting in their own way. And if they come out tight tonight and they can't finish the job here, then all of a sudden that's going to be the story again. The story goes from, wow, Boston's on their way to, wow, they're choking again. The whole narrative changes tonight. If they don't win.
We have to paint a narrative somewhere. Media has to keep spicing this up. Oh my goodness. I just can't see them beating them 4 times in a row, excuse me. I'd have to see it to believe it, and when it gets
happen
done,
eventually.
Oh, of course. Yeah, of course. It definitely is.
Boston should have done it last year. But again, they got home for game 7 and then
should have did what last year? Beat Miami?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They should have been the team to come from down 0-3 to win a series.
Yeah.
They got it to game 7 at home. And what happened? That's what they do.
Yeah, but Miami, they had no business winning 4 games in a row. Miami finally stepped up, took care of business. As much as they choke, you got to give Miami some love. I do think, though, if the Mavs were to come back 4 games in a row, this is the end of the Celtics as we see it.
I agree.
I think you have to, as much as you don't want to break up Tatum and Brown, you got to start to have conversations about what's next. Because Horford's at the end. Porzingis will probably bounce back. Drew's there. Derek White's there. But after that, the bitch isn't as strong. I know you. Are you a Peyton Pritchard guy, or you just be screaming at the Draper?
I mean, I know he's not as good as I say he is, but Drapes can't stand him.
Yeah.
I think he's pretty good.
Okay.
He's a good shooter.
There you go. Well, there's some things there, but if you don't win in a almost given opportunity like they've had to walk in the Eastern and you lose to the Mavs when you're up 3-0.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Somebody got to go.
Yeah.
Somebody's O's got to go.
Yeah. Most likely they win tonight, and that's that. And they're crowned champions. And who knows from here? Someone will start talking about a dynasty, whatever. You won 1. Let's relax. If they don't, though, then you have to go back to 22 when they were up, 2-1 at home, and they had the Warriors down, and the Warriors came back, won that series. Then last year, Miami upset them. And then if you have a 3-0 lead this year, on top of that, if they were to have a 3-0 lead and they couldn't finish the deal, then it'd be this group just isn't it. There's obviously something.
Yeah.
We like everybody. There's a lot of talent here, but as a group, they ain't getting it done.
Yeah.
They're just not.
But see, I think I asked you this question, you and Drapes. Missoula takes the fall, doesn't he?
Yeah,
okay.
But I'd still probably have to bust something up big time.
Yeah.
It's just everything. And that's why they probably will win. But there will be a significant amount of heat on them tonight. I've seen that at some of the best teams. I remember seeing the Bulls at home. Michael Jordan's Bulls at home. All right, they're going to clinch tonight, and you get a little tight because it's just different.
And then them Jazz win and push it to game 6.
Yeah, it can happen. All right, when we come back, Jaylen Brown says the Celtics have to play like our life depends on it because it does. Also, we will look at a new name popping up for the Kings at 13 in a new mock draft. He's in town now. Next on Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA3 Weather Center. It'll be breezy early Monday evening, but that wind will weaken overnight. Temperatures drop into the mid-50s. Slight breeze Tuesday morning, but a calm afternoon with temperatures climbing into the mid-80s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
At the Good Feet store, we take pain very seriously. Whether in the foot, knee, hip, or back, Good Feet makes over 300 styles, flexibilities, and sizes of pain-relieving arch supports. With 26 bones, 30 joints, and over 100 muscles, tendons, and ligaments in each foot, a lot can go painfully wrong. So there's a trained arch support specialist at each Good Feet store to give you a precision fit. Come in for a free fitting and test walk. No appointment necessary. Good Feet arch supports are HSA, FSA eligible.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
Sacramento, Dirk Bentley is coming to town.
Hey, y'all, this is Dirk Bentley.
Saturday, September 28th at Hart Health Park at Cal Expo for Country in the Park 2. And he's bringing some friends.
This is Farley. Take my hand, let me make you mine.
It's
Kelsey Hart, and more. Saturday, September 28th at Hart Health Park at Cal Expo. Get your tickets before they sell out at CITPFest.com. Brought to you by Hyatt Vacation Club and Xfinity.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity Mobile. Connect to the most reliable 5G network nationwide. Well, it was October 17th, 1974, when the A's at the Coliseum beat the Dodgers 3-2. They won the World Series 4-1 for their third straight title. Coming up later this month on June 23rd, when the A's play the Twins. As the A's say goodbye to the Coliseum this year, the A's will honor members of that 74 team in a pregame ceremony.
Want more speed? Well, Xfinity just increased their internet speeds, and they're faster than ever. It's time to get more out of your internet with faster speeds from Xfinity. Now through June 21st, get 150 megabit Xfinity internet for only $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract. That's double the speed for the same great price. Click, call, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay with store bank account. Restrictions apply. Equipment, taxes, and other charges extra. After promo, regular rates apply. Actual speeds vary.
Right now, while you're sitting on the couch or just driving around, your friends are at the Hagen Oaks Driving Range powered by Top Tracer. The vibe is perfect, whether you're an accomplished player or a newbie. Play a variety of fun games, play Pebble Beach, or compete against friends at the Hagen Oaks Driving Range. Hungry? The Hangout Food Truck offers burgers, chicken strips, and more. Check the summer-long free concert schedule. Be a part of the fun at the Hagen Oaks Driving Range, Fulton Avenue at Cap City Freeway, open until midnight.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Hey, everybody, it's your boy Kyle Draper from Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. I can't tell you how much I love my new SUV. It is truly amazing, and I got special news just for you. Right now at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, you can receive your first month's payment up to $1,500 on them on select new 2024 GLE vehicles. Or how about the all-new E-Class right now at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton? They have over 80 pre-owned vehicles in stock, including off-brand trucks, SUVs, and sedans. They have rates starting at 1.99% APR on select certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz. And Mercedes-Benz of Stockton has a Vans Fleet Center with rates starting at 4.9% APR plus customer bonus cash incentives on approved credit. Head on over to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, just off I-5, or online at mbfstockton.com.
Thunder, feel the thunder.
It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Dawn or dusk, I'm on the hunt. Skeeter here, Sacramento Yellow Mosquito and Vector Control District, and I'm wearing Skeeter Vision, night vision goggles that light up skeeters at dawn or dusk like the 4th of July. Mosquito, 12 o'clock. Got him. So fight the bite by wearing long sleeves and pants at dawn or dusk when they're most active. Apply insect repellent and drain stagnant water. It's a breeding ground.
Dawn or dusk, the Sacramento Yellow Mosquito and Vector Control District reminds you to fight the bite. For more information or to report problems, go to fightthebite.net.
NBA basketball returns to Golden One Center this July 6th, 7th, and 9th for the California Classic Summer League Games. 3-day passes in the lower level start at just $66 and include access to all 6 games. See your Sacramento Kings as they host the San Antonio Spurs and Charlotte Hornets, featuring newly drafted rookies, NBA sophomores, and other athletes competing to make NBA rosters. Visit kings.com/California Classic for more information and to buy your tickets today.
Celebrate Sacramento Rivercats baseball during our 25th anniversary season. Pick your favorite weekly promotion, giveaway game, or theme night, and join the fun at Sutter Health Park. Stick around post-game every Friday and Saturday night as we light up the sky with the brightest fireworks in town. For a full promotion schedule and to buy tickets, visit rivercats.com. We'll see you there.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. Sacramento's official home for the San Francisco 49ers.
Touchdown! San Francisco!
Sactown Sports.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
Yeah, we got some Kings news today. We got news regarding, first of all, the California Classic and the schedule and the fact that Chinese national team is going to be participating in some of the games here in Sacramento with the Kings and the Charlotte Hornets and the San Antonio Spurs. Got the schedule, too. And then the Kings are going to be going to San Francisco to play the Warriors on July 10th. What is it? 6? I don't have the dates in front of me.
6th, 7th, 10th.
6th, 7th, 10th. Thank you, Jay. Yeah. Aren't they playing the 9th here too before they go down there? Yeah, 6th, 7th, 9th here. Then they go down to San Francisco on the 10th. San Francisco, they also have games at the same time. The other news today, in some ways, much more intriguing. The great Sean Cunningham on Twitter reporting that the Kings are working out some players today, including Zach Edey, Kel'el Ware, Jamison Battle, Boogie Ellis, Ray J. Dennis, and Jonathan Mugbo from USF. So that's interesting, right? Zach Edey in town working out with the Kings. My theory, which is based on not a lot other than it's just my theory, Kel'el Ware, I think the Kings like him. I saw he was mentioned as a guy the Kings may end up picking in a Bleacher Report mock, a new mock. He apparently is rising up the draft boards because he shot the ball well. So my theory is, okay, the Kings like him because in theory he's a guy that could play well with Domas because he can shoot the ball. So they brought in Zach Edey just to see Kel'el Ware work out against a big guy. I don't know. There's a lot of people who know a lot about basketball who say the Kings should have genuine interest in Zach Edey. I don't think Jay is among them, though.
As far as
whether the Kings should have genuine interest in 7'4" Zach Edey.
Yeah, he intrigues me, but I'm not sure he fits the bill for me. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, I'm a mild out on him. You know, some guys
mild.
Some guys is like, oh, no way. And on him, it's like, nah, for me, I just feel like, no, it's just right now they can't afford to take the chance.
It's not it's a luxury.
In a way, yeah. I feel like given how desperately they need to upgrade the talent right now, Zach Edey, nah, not right now. Out.
Would you take him on the back end? Let's say they traded down, and for whatever reason he was there at 24 or something. Would you take him then?
If I'm trading down, so I haven't gotten anybody yet?
Nope.
No, I think there's guys in this draft who maybe could help me more. But again, it's probably going to happen where the Kings aren't going to make this pick at all. Or whether it's probable or not, I don't know. But there's a very good chance the Kings aren't making this pick at all.
Or are they making a pick and sending it somewhere, right?
Yeah. I include that in
I got you.
Actually making the pick.
Khalil Ware, he put up 16 points last year, 10 rebounds, 15.99 points.
What's a wingspan? I know he's a 7-footer.
Yeah, he's a 7-footer. Let me go to his
Indiana.
wingspan. I like that. Yeah, of course, he come from a basketball school. I mean,
questions about his motor, which apparently now teams are not as concerned about for whatever reason.
He's probably like it sounds like he's moving up the draft boards, and he's someone they feel, his upside is in front of him.
Yeah,
in front. Like I think Zach Edey, and he'll get a little better. I hope, knocking on wood. I'm not sure he can get any better than what we've seen at maximum potential, if that makes sense.
He's going to have a nice career.
Yes. I think he's going to be a backup guy, 10, 12 years, and then he'll get out the league, hopefully being healthy.
When the league expands to Vegas
and Seattle,
maybe he'll end up starting there, for a few years. He'll put up some nice numbers.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
We got a wingspan of 9 feet 4 inches.
You like that?
I like that. That's 2 extra feet on top of this young fella. Mm-hmm. I like that. I'm with that, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's a, he measures 6 feet 11 and 3/4 inches barefoot.
All right. So that's a legit 7-footer in his shoes.
Yeah, that's pretty good right there, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good. I like that. He looks a little thin. I'm not sure he can shoot it. I'm looking at his field goal percentage. I believe it was 58% last year.
Yeah,
for Indiana.
And as I said, I believe he shot the ball so well at the combine that he's viewed a little differently than he was as far as his shooting. But, a lot of the guys that we've been talking about, and we know all the names that we've been going over and over. Dalton Connect, a great example. Cody Williams is another example. It looks like the way things are shaking out, there's a really good chance that most of the guys we've all been saying, oh, good fit for the Kings, they will be gone by the time the Kings pick.
Yeah, probably. The guys that we're looking for. Mm-hmm. I think it's the Tristan Da Silva, you'll probably be there. Those type of guys, the Dalton Connects, the Cody Williams, as you said, like the guys that we're looking for.
Drape's guy, Jacoby Walter, could be there when they pick.
I think he might be there.
Yeah. Devin Carter could be there.
That's what it seems like everybody's kind of pointing to, just based on his shooting, and people going to say, I think nationally, a lot of people are kind of pinpointing Malik is going to leave. And I see a lot of mock drafts picking guards for the Kings. Mm-hmm. They're going to be thin at guard. And I think that's where a lot of people are trying to find like the Malik replacement. When you really start to sit down and read some, peruse, and we'll grade a couple more draft gurus and analysts on the show this week to kind of talk about it as we get a little closer. Raphael Barlow, NBA ceilings, things like that. To me, it kind of seems like guys are trying to replace Malik Monk in these mock drafts.
Mm-hmm. And when you think about it, with what the Kings got out of Malik Monk, sure, McCain is an excellent shooter.
Sure.
But, when you're talking about replacing Malik Monk, that's something a rookie's not going to do, Jay.
No. Unless they come in like Tyreek Evans.
Yeah.
And just be balling out of control. I don't see it. I'm with you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at Khalil Ware. He shot the ball very well from 3-point land last year.
There you go. Let's get him.
42.5%.
Look at that.
The year before, of course, he was at Oregon. He shot the ball 27.3. Though he only started 4 games his freshman year. He played in 35, 15.8 minutes. So he was a freshman. He's coming off the bench, trying to get acclimated. He's up there in Oregon, and the Nike uniforms probably and the floor probably distract him a little bit.
That's a good point.
You go to boring old Indiana,
right.
Nothing's going on.
We're wearing the white or the red tonight. Yeah.
You get to focus on those boring uniforms they wear up there, and now you shoot the ball better. I'm with all of that. So he's intriguing. He's intriguing.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. We got to see it as we get closer, and that's why I said we'll have a couple more analysts on this week to tell us better, how to gauge this. But he's kind of coming out of nowhere. He's like the horse out the back of the pack now, right?
Yes. There's one thing that really scares me about the Kings in the first-round pick, and we'll tell you what that is when we come right back to Sactown Sports.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
No one knows the importance of a great assist more than Lowe's and Leo Messi. That's why we've teamed up to give MVP's Pro Rewards members 10 times the points when Messi makes an assist during CONMEBOL Copa America USA 2024. Activate this offer starting June 20th, so when Messi assists, you score. Shop the day after an assist to earn those extra points. Not an MVP's Pro Rewards member? Join today.
Every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
A lot of chatter on the chat here about how free agency could start tonight. Yeah, according to the CBA, the free agency can start the day after the NBA Finals end, which, again, 9 o'clock tonight would technically be tomorrow on the East Coast. But it's limited to teams being able to make offers to their own free agents. So that does involve the Kings and Malik Monk. But, again, as we all know, there's really not much the Kings can do. This is the most we can offer you, so this is what we're going to offer you. Other than that, unless they want to try to get creative with, well, how about a 2-year deal and then we get your bird rights? And that's just probably far too risky for Malik.
You better start offering that jet, that jet service.
You can't even really do that, can you? I mean, wink, wink. You can't do that, can you?
I believe you can. I'm not sure in the NBA. I know as of baseball, that is something that people negotiate all the time, the extras. Basketball, I thought you could.
Yeah. Do you know that when they first started free agency in baseball, they had a draft?
Yes.
Teams had to draft who they wanted to sign. And then I think someone said, whoa. Then they're not free agents.
Right.
Okay, you're right. We'll get rid of that. The thing that scares me about the Kings in the draft is, let's say the Kings use the 13th on, name anybody, Jay, anybody at all. It doesn't matter who that they could pick.
Tristan DeSilva.
Okay. If they get him, on the one hand, I'd feel like, wow, good player. But what would be scary about that was, wow, they couldn't trade that pick. And they're going to have to trade the picks in order to get somebody really good back. And if they don't get anybody really good back, it's hard to see them making much headway next year in the West with a decent player that they got in a watered-down draft. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
So I like Tristan DeSilva. I'd be like, yeah, I like him. But how much can he help? So it's right back to that same old thing about the Kings. How are they going to catch up? Especially, again, if you end up watching Malik go somewhere else. It's a tough situation they're in.
Yeah, it is. And I like where you're going there. I think we're all on the same field here you've been fighting over the last few weeks of keeping your draft picks for swinging for the fences. You want an all-star. You want a superstar. You want someone that's going to make, a headway and not a rookie, and you're going to need the pick to do it. And I'm with you. I'm with you. I just, for whatever reason, something in my mind is telling me this offseason, and I think you said a little earlier, you think it's going to be hot and heavy a little bit. Yeah. Something tells me it's going to be hot and heavy, but I'm not sure it's going to be hot and heavy in the pieces that the Kings can reach. For all intents and purposes, Brandon Ingram is probably on his way out. If not this offseason, by trade deadline. What do the Kings have to go get that?
I'm sure there must be some way they could do something, but I don't see it.
Yeah. And so I'm worried about that. Part of it is get rid of the draft pick. I don't want it because I'm with you. I'm in the same boat. I would like to see something that is a known commodity. But what are the Kings really in on?
That's why Kuzma is the one that makes the most sense to me.
It does. Or Levine.
Levine doesn't make sense to me because of the injury risk. It's just such a huge risk. And if he's fine, obviously you have your doctors look at him. And if they're like, you know what, this is good. Okay. Other than that, it would be a huge risk. Saw this today in The Athletic. They have their tiers, NBA players by tiers that they unveiled today. They just unveiled tier 5. I'm going somewhere here that relates to the Kings, just so you know. So the top 125 in the NBA by tier. In tier 5 was Keegan Murray. So I have to think he's probably going to be the only King on this list. other than De'Aaron Fox and Domas. Maybe Malik Monk's in there, but based on previous lists by The Athletic, there's a good chance he's not going to be on there. My point is, if you only have 3 of the top 125 and one of those 3 is tier 5, you can't compete unless you get a lot more talent. And it's going to be hard to get the necessary talent you need to compete through the draft this year, even though there's some nice players. So they have to make those trades, Jay. That's the way I see it. Now, to your point, if you wait and you think something's going to happen to the deadline, all right, that could work. But then it's really risky because look, last year at the deadline, what happened? All of a sudden, the Kings were in the same situation. They couldn't compete with anybody for the players that were available.
Yeah, it's a catch-22 for the Kings. The other part that just popped in my mind, too, is, when I said Zach LaVine, I hadn't thought about this, but your answer kind of perked this up in my mind is Monty, to the best of my knowledge, is not a gunslinger. He's not I'm going to go out there and try some things.
Right.
He is almost when it's, it has to be
methodical.
Solidified. Yeah, very.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost kind of got to be a proven thing. I don't want to miss. I don't want to take a chance. I don't want to take an opportunity. To me, that's how he has played his hand so far. There aren't many things. Now, people could argue and say, well, look what he did with Domantas Sabonis and Tyrese Halliburton. I think that was almost a given. Like, something had to be done, and he had a chip that people were very interested in. Beyond that, there aren't many things that Monty has kind of going out the way to do.
Right.
And lost and or won. It's kind of been like for sure things. And so, the Zach LaVine thing is interesting. When I said that to you, it makes me think I could see Kuzma being the play because he is more of a guaranteed thing. We know he's going to give us 20. We know he's going to play.
Safer commodity.
He's a safer bet. Yeah. I'm not sure safer bet gets me any further than Zach LaVine. And it's like gambling, risk reward. I think Zach LaVine has more upside, but I think Kuzma is a safer play. And that's why it's interesting this offseason. And that's why I continue to keep on talking about calendar year is I don't see Monty going for broke. I really don't.
I also think that if you do lose Malik, and again, we hope that you don't, you've got the issue of your fan base that is getting a little disenchanted. Would you agree?
Yes.
And I think this offseason, you almost have to do something just to get their attention and get their enthusiasm, get them feeling like, all right, you're worth my investment again.
But how many NBA GMs and front office people operate in that form?
Well, everybody does to a degree, in my opinion. I don't know that anyone is in the same situation where the Kings were, where they went from, this is the greatest thing ever again, great, to, man, that was really disappointing. I've lost all hope. That's a bit of an exaggeration. But when you're trying to get people to support everything and get behind it and spend money, that's a tough drop. And I think you have to show them something to get them back on board. We see the comments here, and some of it seemed kind of out of whack, but expectations were probably too high last year. And you have to take that into account as far as, getting people to buy your tickets.
Yeah.
I think you're saying that there's some teams, you're right, some teams don't care about that. I mean, there's a baseball team down the road that really doesn't care much about that. I think they're going to be here next year. But I think the Kings will be in that situation this offseason if Malik leaves.
If Malik leaves and they don't really do anything that strokes, the Kings fans, to stroke the flame for them to be, buy in, you think there's going to be some issues. You think there's going to be an outpour of, what are we doing? What is Monty doing? Yeah.
Obviously you can't just do something just to do something.
Yep.
But I do think there's just more motivation than there's been in a long time for the Kings to, as you say, maybe assume some risks this year.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they don't have the money to go out and play around, with some of the free agents. Of course, they have the MLE, but if Malik Monk leaves and you have pretty much draft picks, Harrison Barnes and Kevin Huerter, the Toyota base package. Well, we'll continue to keep the Toyota Corolla base package without the electronic, the electric windows and the automatic doors.
Can I get some seat warmers on that?
No, come on, stop playing with that.
Okay.
What we can do is we put some cars,
CD player.
Oh yeah. It's 2024. We'll at least give you a CD player. No worries.
Okay.
Now we're not going to give you the aux cord the aux cord spot, and you definitely ain't getting a charging pad, but we'll figure something out for you. You know,
Probably no Sirius XM free
no,
preview,
man, if anything, we'll give it to you for 3 months. a trial run. Yeah, but I'm having a hard time, Whitey, figuring out, and it's not my job to do it, but as researched as we are, as much as we live and eat and breathe this every single day, because this is our job, I find it very difficult for the Kings to grab someone that is going to move the needle enough for people to be all in. I think the Kings are going to make very tactical moves that are going to get people excited and not kind of what you're saying, not falling down to the point of like, oh man, I'm disappointed. Like they didn't try. You know, I think you'll see what they did last year, but with a little more grease in the pan. Like it's going to be a little more sizzle. You might see another player added. It might not just be 2 players. You might get 3 players. You might figure out, get a wily veteran that has a little bit of name, a little longer in the tooth. We're not going to get the best out of them, but they have a little more sizzle, a la Vince Carter, you know, that type of thing. I just find it very difficult, very, very difficult for the Kings to hit on a player that's going to have people pushing the chips almost all in, if not this year, come next year and work around the fringe without taking a risk. You're going to have to, you're going to throw the dice out on the table.
Right.
Where the Kings are right now. And I have a tough time seeing the Kings brass doing it. I'm going to be very surprised. The Kings throw the dice out and go get a Zach LaVine. I will be very surprised.
So you think it's more likely that they hang on to the picks and do their darndest to pick a heck of a player at each of those spots, fill in with the MLE, and then go from there?
Or I think they're going to dish the picks, bring the veteran, like you said, MLE, bring the veterans on, and then come trade deadline, before trade deadline hits, I think they'll roll the dice. Because, and that's why I continue to push, and I sound like a broken record. I truly think, unfortunately for Kings fans, by the Kings not doing anything last offseason and really kind of going in with the same team and not doing anything at trade deadline, which we didn't really see anything of significance trade deadline in the league, minus a few fringe moves, and they panned out for the Mavs. But it's put the Kings brass in a tough situation, because now we're almost expecting something to happen. Well, you didn't do nothing for a whole year. And I'm just saying the Kings aren't in position to do something without taking risk reward, you know, roll of the dice.
And I think they're too risk averse.
Yes.
But look at the Denver Nuggets. They, I think Coach Malone was just on with Jim Rome, and he was saying, we love our starters. We have the metrics say we're the best starting unit, but we got to make the bench better. So they are going out this offseason. They're trying to improve. They're trying to get back to a championship level. The Minnesota Timberwolves had a great year. They saw Anthony Edwards, when it came down to it in the biggest games, wasn't quite where they wanted him to be. So they have to improve. They've got to get better. Oklahoma City, as great as they were this year, #1 seed, they're looking at it going, wow, we have to get better. So, and again, I know we've mentioned many times all the teams behind the Kings, like the Memphis Grizzlies. So you have, if you want to compete, you have no choice. You have to take the risk.
True.
Because if you don't take the risk and you kind of play it safe, you're not going to be competitive with these teams.
Yeah, you're putting yourself in a bad situation. We've thrown out 30 different names on this show in the last month since the Kings season, beginning of the NBA playoffs. I mean, we've named folks, you know, deliriously. Marcus Smart, Brandon Ingram, Zach LaVine. I mean, guys that we know, being realistically, like we're not throwing out Bam Adebayo, Giannis. Like those guys aren't available.
We've tried very hard to be responsible about the names we're throwing around.
And when I really just sit back and take a look at it, none of the names that are viable for, you know, Harrison Barnes, Kevin Huerter, and draft picks excite me enough to be like, oh, this is a champ. They're close. They need to bring in Bruce Brown. They need to bring in Pat Bev. Work around the fringes, which is what the Nuggets are saying. That's what Coach Malone is saying for Jim Rome. You're going to have to go out and spark the fire. Like the fire is, as you talked about, is getting dimmer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the campfire is getting a little low right now. And if we don't go get someone to throw a little more gas on that, we may be in here. You know, we may be on the ground with nothing but a sleeping bag.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's
and some wet matches.
It is like, it's tough. And that's, to me, I think you're going to need, you know, it's like, okay, listen, if I put this kerosene on it, not just gas, I might blow this thing up, but I'm willing to do it to keep warm.
My guess is that Monty, while I agree with you, it's proven that he doesn't like to take risks. He's also smart. And he realizes, I think, I have no choice. Not taking risks right now is not a viable option.
Right.
If we want to get where we want to get to.
Agree.
That's the attitude I think he will take in
to
this offseason. When we come back, it has been a while since we've heard a Brock Purdy take this bad, Jay.
Brock Purdy.
It's next on Sactown Sports.
The light is fading, your hands are sore, and the last tool has been put away. Now is the time to feel the satisfaction that comes with a job well done. But when you get your tools from Harbor Freight, something about the job feels a little different. Your wallet. Because we believe that everyone deserves hardworking tools at hardworking prices. And that's what we have here. So, whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
We see a lot of news about teens vaping, but teens see something else. Videos on social media that glamorize it and downplay the dangers of nicotine. How can parents talk so kids will listen? Use facts. 1. Nicotine can rewire teens' brains. 2. It can make teens more anxious. 3. Changes to the brain can be permanent. So even when it hides behind a new look, nicotine is brain poison. Go to undo.org for more.
At the Good Feet store, we take pain very seriously. Whether in the foot, knee, hip, or back, Good Feet makes over 300 styles, flexibilities, and sizes of pain-relieving arch supports. With 26 bones, 30 joints, and over 100 muscles, tendons, and ligaments in each foot, a lot can go painfully wrong. So there's a trained arch support specialist at each Good Feet store to give you a precision fit. Come in for a free fitting and test walk. No appointment necessary. Good Feet arch supports are HSA, FSA eligible.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopier.com.
Hot summer savings now at Maida Chevy with $12,000 off MSRP on every new Silverado half-ton Turbo Max in stock after rebates.
$12,000 off every Silverado LT Turbo Max at Maida Chevy with at least 5 at this price.
Hot summer savings up to $12,000 off MSRP exclusively at Maida Chevy at MaidaChevy.com. Sacramento Silverado headquarters. Together, let's drive.
Not available with special financing, lease, and some other offers. Must trade in 2010 model year or newer and 7124.
Made a great deal at Maida.
The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Before we get to the worst Brock Purdy take we've heard in a long time, got a question for you, Jay. I have a story here. I'll mention it. If you don't want to deal with it, we move on. It's up to you. No questions asked. Christian McCaffrey and his girlfriend rescued a turtle. Should we move on, or do you want to know anything more about that? We can move on. We can move on. It's not. This isn't
pushing.
Huh?
We can keep it pushing.
All right. We don't need to know any more about that. This isn't like Bill Belichick and his girlfriend.
Okay, no, okay. What happened with the turtle at CMC and company?
He was taking his dog for a walk. Let's see. I was taking Oliver for a walk. No, she was taking. Who's Oliver? I don't know. I was taking Oliver for a walk. He comes across this little stump and he won't stop sniffing. That's what Olivia Colpo said, his girlfriend.
Yeah.
What do you guys think it is? It's a turtle. Look at the turtle. What are we going to name him, Christian? And McCaffrey said, Charles. Let's name him Charles the Turtle. It's a snapping turtle. They found it on their walk. I don't know how this means they rescued it. I mean, depending on where they were walking, the turtle probably just lives there. But the story is that Christian McCaffrey and his girlfriend adorably rescued turtle on walk.
The saint that Christian McCaffrey is.
Yeah.
All praises to the McCaffrey household.
They saw a turtle on their walk. That doesn't mean they saved it. Maybe the turtle didn't.
Check this out.
Yeah.
This man is a very charitable man when it comes to animals. He absolutely rescued that turtle.
Yeah.
He's the savior.
Yeah. That one's on me. I should never have even brought that up.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I apologize for that.
No problem.
There's the rescue part. Where was the rescue? Here's a turtle.
He
What's
was
his
in
name?
his
Charles.
own home.
Okay. Yeah. Leave the bleeping turtles alone on your walk. All right.
Who wrote that? I'm all about the source.
Yeah. Well, I think she posted it.
She posted it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And so then it was picked up
by who?
Joaquin Ruiz
of
NBC Sports Bay Area.
Okay.
And you know that he's like, hey, you got to write this story about this. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, fine. But here's the worst Brock Purdy take I've heard in a long time. You know, Chris Sims, right?
Yes.
He has a podcast, Chris Sims Unbuttoned.
Yes.
I know he played briefly his dad. His dad's a great guy. The few times I've talked to him. Phil.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think Chris Sims is pretty knowledgeable, does a pretty responsible job, doesn't usually come out of the woodwork with these wild takes. But he says, if Jordan Love played in the Super Bowl, the 49ers would be the Super Bowl champions. Jordan Love, what he did at the end of the year, the last 10 weeks of the season, they took the training wheels off and he played at a phenomenally high level. And he really was asked to do more than Purdy, definitely on a physical basis. If you went back to the NFC divisional game, Jordan Love had the 2 interceptions at the end of the game. Jordan Love in that game played better than Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy should have thrown 7 interceptions in that game. He got lucky that night. We'd all be talking differently if Green Bay could catch. It was not a good night. When the 49ers offense is working on all cylinders, says Chris Sims, there's not a lot that Purdy does to bring the offense back up. Now, he does more than Jimmy Garoppolo used to do, and it's definitely an improvement in that in all areas. But I'd still like to see some more. What? Jordan Love? I mean, Jordan Love's a fine quarterback. Jordan Love threw 2 crucial interceptions in that game, right? They were big interceptions. We're just going to pretend they didn't happen? And Brock Purdy could have had 7. He didn't have any, but he could have had 7.
Could have had 7.
What's going on here, Jay? I didn't expect this. You know, I expect this from the likes of Kyle Draper, not from the likes of Chris Sims.
Well, there's a couple things I want to take a step back real fast. First of all,
You're not going back to the turtle, are you?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Turtles pass. He has sped by us.
Yeah.
Charles the Turtle has already sped by us. Chris Sims does have takes like this quite often.
Okay.
He does have a few things. Maybe they just haven't come across your eye.
All right.
The other part of that is, and this is no disrespect to Chris Sims, it's going to sound like this, but Chris Sims might be one of the most Kyrie Irving type characters to ever come out of University of Texas.
I thought he and Shanny were tight.
Yeah. But that doesn't mean he's not Kyrie Irving. Like he's got it. He marches to the own beat of his drum too sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, and I think a lot of what Chris Sims, and I don't want to accuse him of not believing it. I think a lot of what he does is clickbaitish in certain ways. Of course, he's over at NBC Sports, Pro Football Talk.
Mm-hmm.
Some of that stuff over there is a little clickbaitish for me. When it comes to Chris Sims and some of his takes, I saw this last week, and I think Allen's and Styles and Watkins talked about this, mid last week or whatever, and they were talking about Chris Sims and Brock Purdy. You're absolutely right, Whitey. Chris Sims is off his rocker. He's absolutely off his rocker.
Chris Sims had some ability, didn't get far as a pro. I think he sees Brock Purdy. Chris Sims says, I'm better than that guy.
Ooh.
I didn't get any of that.
You got a conspiracy.
Who's he?
You're reading into this.
Who's he? He's got everything that I should have had.
You're reading into this.
Yeah. I don't like that.
There's a few layers that you've peeled back. You've put Chris Sims on the couch, and now you have picked his mind, his brain, and there's some things that he needs to get off his chest, huh?
Yeah. Brock Purdy threw for, as we know, more than 4,000 yards and 32 touchdowns and 11 picks.
Almost was the MVP.
Yeah, that's not all system, no matter what you say. Nobody does that all on system. There's never been a system that good. I know he benefits greatly from the offense he's in, from the system, the players that he plays with, but he gets the ball out, he gets it out on time, and for the most part, he gets it to the right people.
Of course.
That's why the 49ers win. Jordan Love's a fine quarterback. He finished well last year, but all of a sudden, I mean, Chris Sims makes it sound like Jordan Love is second coming of name the greatest quarterback ever.
You know, when it comes to Brock Purdy, there is going to be a forever thing when it comes to Purdy, unless he wins like a couple Super Bowls and wins MVP
right.
or something.
They actually take two, and even then, there will be some Chris Sims out there.
Yeah, because so many people missed on him. Guys don't like to say I was wrong.
You're right.
It's hard to say I was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to say I missed. It's hard to say I didn't see it. It's hard to say, you know what, he had a little more talent than me, my scouts, my coaches, and everybody else seen. You know, analysts got it wrong. Reporters got it wrong. The brass of the NFL got it wrong. It's tough, man. It's tough to admit when you're wrong as a person sometimes. And that's what makes us great when we can do that. You know, we can admit that we need to be better. Mm-hmm. And so I think Purdy, until he goes out, and it's kind of the Tom Brady thing. So many people were wrong with Tom Brady, but he kept winning and kept accomplishing goals and kept, winning hardware. It got so much to where people are like, but there's nothing else we could say. We missed it. He was a 5th-round guy. He ran slow, looked out of shape. It is what it is. He's the greatest. Mm-hmm. Brock Purdy is kind of starting to get into that mold. It's like, okay, how many times is Brock Purdy gonna have to be an MVP caliber type ball player, lead his team to the playoffs, make it? Like, I'm a big proponent of, I really think, White, to be honest, even if Purdy, and I hope this doesn't happen, I think if Purdy goes the next 2-3 years, takes his team to the Super Bowl, loses an NFC Western Conference one year, maybe makes it to the second round, wins a couple divisions, people are still gonna say he's not as good as he is.
Mm-hmm.
Guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
He has proven so many people wrong already that it's going to be hard for anybody to be like, you know what, we missed.
Yeah. This says here, and I didn't hear Chris Sims say this, but this is the headline here. 49er fans are putting Brock Purdy on a pedestal, says Sims.
We're supposed to.
Why wouldn't you? It's an incredible story.
We are supposed. If Brock Purdy would have won the Super Bowl last year, and not just Brock, if the 49ers would have won the Super Bowl, man, there would have been a Disney movie set up so quick.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
This dude,
and
he's a movie. It still should be.
Yeah.
It is a Disney movie waiting to happen. Me and your contract is probably more than Brock Purdy's together.
Mm-hmm.
And that's saying something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, people, it's hard for people to understand, dude is okay. He's not that bad. He might not be almighty Aaron Rodgers, what everybody wanted to talk about, the gunslinger, the quick release.
Easy, he wouldn't have been the first guy to do this with the 49ers.
I'm with you.
He wouldn't have been the first guy to have this success. You could have had anybody and plugged him in there.
Anybody. That's what people talk about when it comes to Shanahan's system. Put anybody in there. You know what? Go get Nathan Peterman and watch Shanahan turn him into a Pro Bowl caliber quarterback. Man, shut up. Get this man some love. And then
shut up and watch a football game.
You know what the other part too, Whitey, is? I'm supposed to feel bad because my quarterback is good? Like,
you put him on
that.
A pedestal.
Yeah. Who doesn't root for their quarterback or their team if they're good? Now, there's some people out there who dislike their quarterback.
Yeah.
Get it.
A lot of
yes.
fans.
But if you like your team, you're also still trying to get, man, I don't care. Look, we've had Tim Rattay, Gio, Troy Smith, Jimmy. I mean, we could keep Sean Hill.
Yeah.
I continue?
For your own sake, I'm going to stop you because I know how much that would hurt you.
Yes.
Yeah,
we've had people who, and some of those could, like Troy Smith played decently for the 49ers. But I'm just saying, there are people the 49ers have had where it's like, man, we don't got a shot. Kate Dorsey. Like, we don't have a shot. We're going into it knowing we don't have a shot. So let us 49ers fans please gloat in the fact that they made a mistake, maybe with Trey Lance, which we don't know yet. He still hasn't had the opportunity to play. And they got lucky with Brock Purdy, but if nothing else, let's celebrate Brock Purdy, man. Like, I'm not supposed to root for my own quarterback because the league got it wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we already Purdy from the 916 Purdy blows.
I know, I saw that.
I know, man. I get it. I understand. It's hard. It is hard. What Ric Flair say, it is hard being as good. It really is, though, sometimes with certain people. And again, I'm the person that says it all the time. Please, when it comes to sports, hate all you want. But sometimes you got to at least tell the truth every now and then.
Don't just make stuff up.
Clickbait, man.
Yeah.
Well, they hating on that boy Brock Purdy, ain't they?
Happy anniversary, weirdest day in sports history. Next on Sactown Sports.
It's taste on a whole new level at Sky River Casino. With 18 elevated restaurants, bars, and lounge destinations that include SR Prime Steakhouse, 32 Brews, Dragon Boat, and The Market. Just minutes from Sacramento, right off Highway 99 in Elk Grove. Join in the fun and experience the height of hospitality. Sky's the limit at Sky River Casino. Visit skyriver.com today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Whitey here, reminding you that not all gas grills are created equal. You want to bring out all the delicious flavors in your grilled meats, like I'm going to do this weekend, with the amazing Napoleon Prestige and Prestige Pro line of outdoor cookers. My Napoleon Stainless Steel Pro Series gas grill has turned me into a grilling pro. I thought I was good before. I'm better now, with features other grills can't match. They're built different, built better, built to last, made with premium stainless steel that boasts quality and a lifetime warranty. I don't think I'll ever want to cook indoors again. I don't think I ever really did want to cook indoors. Napoleon grills and accessories are now available at your nearby Amy's, Ace Hardware in Sacramento, and now El Dorado.
Ad paid for by the Sentinel Group. Attention Marines, military personnel, families, and contractors who were stationed at Camp Lejeune. Were you present at Camp Lejeune between August 1953 and December of 1987? You may be entitled to significant compensation. For nearly 34 years, those in the Marine Corps' base Camp Lejeune were exposed to contaminated drinking water, resulting in devastating injuries, including several forms of cancer, adverse birth outcomes, Parkinson's disease, and more. North Carolina's procedural laws have prevented victims from getting the justice they deserve, but passage of the Camp Lejeune Justice Act of 2022 would allow you or a loved one to file lawsuits seeking compensation for illnesses and injuries linked to the toxic water. Call today for your free consultation. 800-439-4252. Let our experienced attorneys fight to get you the compensation you deserve, and you pay nothing unless there's a recovery in your favor. Call 800-439-4252. That's 800-439-4252. Again, 800-439-4252.
Save on rows and rows of new Hondas during our giant summer sale at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Hurry in and save on our best selection of new Hondas. Each is priced to sell now. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on a giant selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Ridgeline, Civics, and Accords with low finance and lease options. Get to Folsom Lake Honda or go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
My good friends, Dr. Jack Friedlander and Dr. Pash in Roseville and in San Francisco are offering not only confidence, not only security, but also the ability, if you ain't insecure, to go from the roster to the all-star team. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about UpsizeMatters.com. Time after time, vote after vote, circumference, or as we call it, girth, is consistently ranked as the most important attribute. And Dr. Jack and Dr. Pash can give you a free consultation. The procedure can be done on the same day as your consultation with immediate results. It's non-surgical. It's virtually pain-free, safe, effective, long-lasting, semi-permanent, and doctor-performed. For more information, go to UpsizeMatters.com. Go to UpsizeMatters.com. Make that change. Make the all-star team. Get your girth on.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
I just saw the video of Christian McCaffrey and the turtle. It's not a snapping turtle, by the way. He and his girlfriend and the dog, they're walking, and there's this fence there. And there's, some dirt, and the turtle's on the other side of the fence. And I don't know what he did with it. Probably should have just left the turtle alone. I think the turtle was just chilling. Like, oh, we rescued the turtle. Charles the turtle. He's a snapping turtle. No, he's not, Jay. He's not, but that's the name of that.
A regular turtle?
He's a red-eared slider, if you ask me. Regular old red-eared slider.
The zookeeper just over there. I see you working.
Yeah, just hanging out. It's like, who are these dumbasses? They're going to pick me up now and pet me. That's great. Leave me alone. I'm a turtle.
I'm at the house.
Yeah.
I'm around the corner from the house. You stole me from my inhabitants.
I don't know where I am now. Now that they rescued me.
Man.
Yeah. Jay, I know you're a baseball guy.
Yeah, Paul, real quick.
Yeah.
Paul Skeens is a star. You think so?
Yes.
That dude's dealing right now.
I don't have him on in here. I
Yeah,
didn't know
he gets the Reds on FS1, but that dude is getting it done right now, man.
Well, did you see what Ronel Blanco did yesterday?
A little bit.
Okay.
A little bit.
Because he pitched a no-hitter earlier this year.
He did.
And yesterday, through 7 innings, I think he's pitched against Detroit.
Yeah, and 2/3.
No-hitter going.
Oof.
They take him out.
Just party foul.
Yeah, they take him out.
What are you doing, coach?
Pitch count. He had a lot of high pitch counts, and I think he was at 94.
What are you doing, coach?
That's what's done now. And you wonder why baseball's not as popular.
And I think I sent it to you today. I was like, if that was Dusty Baker,
yeah,
let him go. Keep him pushing.
Right.
It's like, Joe Esposada. What is it? Espada. What's that? I don't know. Espada. Right, is Joe Espada. If I'm not mistaken how you pronounce his last name, the new manager of the Houston Astros. But
yeah, Ronel, we're going to shut you down.
Yes.
And he said, I knew with my pitch count, they weren't going to let me finish. So I just went along with it.
That's whack, man. That is whack. You're 7 outs away.
Look, I know we're sounding like, old guys now because this is how it's done now.
7 outs away from 2 no-hitters?
Yeah. In one season.
Man, coach.
That is rarefied air.
Because even the worst that could possibly happen is he gets injured right then and there, and it sounds bad. But if he gets injured, the team is still going to be like, oh, my goodness, he threw 2 no-hitters in a matter of a couple of months. He's on point. We need him. They're not cutting him for next year. Like, let him go out and make history. Be great.
Exactly right. It's a word I was thinking.
Just be great.
He had a chance to make history.
2 no-hitters.
Man. In one season.
Man, I'd have threw my glove on the field.
Well, I knew with my pitch count, I knew they weren't going to let me.
So, no, that's terrible.
So I just went with it.
That's terrible, man. 7 2/3. Yeah, you were 7 outs away.
You wouldn't have given the manager the ball, would you?
I wouldn't have.
Turned your back on him?
Absolutely. Like Major League, the movie is like, I'm not coming. He's like, give me the ball. And he's like, nope.
That's the other thing. Yeah. The guy didn't even.
Dorn.
He didn't.
Dorn.
He didn't even plead with, hey, Skip, let me finish this. Give me a chance to finish it. Give me a shot. And as soon as I give up a hit, I'm out.
It's out, yeah.
Of course.
Let me battle here, Skip. Yeah, Dusty would have been all in. Dusty would have told his pitching coach, man, sit your butt down.
And Dusty was just there last year.
I know.
Yeah. Or 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago. Oh,
terrible.
Well.
It's terrible.
That's the way it is now in baseball. That's one of the things about baseball that's kind of lost its charm. Guy's pitching a no-hitter. Can he pitch a no-hitter? No, they're not going to leave him in. Maybe you'll get a combo no-hitter, which isn't close to the same.
No, that's not it.
Not close to the same. Anyway, today, usually at this time, we look at the things that have happened on this day. There's only one thing of note that happened on this day, really, Jay. Happy anniversary, weirdest day in sports history. 30 years ago today, Game 5 NBA Finals and the OJ chase. 1994.
Yeah. Was that Rockets Knicks?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Rockets
sir.
Knicks.
And I remember I was so mad because I wanted to watch the game. Seriously.
You were probably one of the only people.
Really? Because nothing was happening. They're just, there's the white Bronco.
I know.
And there it goes.
Flying down the freeway.
And obviously, we got to keep showing it in case something happens.
Yeah.
Nothing happened.
Nope. Pulled right up to the house. I remember as a kid just watching it. It's like, we're really, and normally when you see, it wasn't a high speed chase because it wasn't like he was flying down the road. Right. But normally when you see a chase from police, they're doing everything possible to stop this car due to, the safety of the public around them. And I mean, they literally just stayed in pocket.
Right.
Drove their little 65 from point A to point B, let them ride all the way.
The OJ's fans gathering on overpasses and waving, and it was weird.
That is weird. That's pretty weird. As Paul Skeens throws a 99-mile-per-hour fastball, top of the sixth, 2 outs, getting it in, and they're taking out pitchers, 7 2/3, 7 outs away from a no-hitter.
Yeah.
And 94 pitches, you said?
I thought that's what I thought that's what it was.
Paul Skeens is at the top of the sixth. He's at 94 pitches.
I don't even know now if managers care, like if the guy's in the 5th inning. I could be wrong. I'm saying I'm not sure. I'm not saying they don't care. But, before it's like, well, you got to leave a guy in to give him a chance to win a game, right? Because he's got to go 5.
Yes.
Now I don't even know if that's really a thing. I mean, it's got to be to some degree.
No, I think you got to let him go 5.
I agree you should, but I think now the way baseball is like, it's just not, it's just not written in stone the way it used to be.
Yeah.
Depending on the circumstances.
True.
And again,
very true.
The pitch count.
I mean, that it's abrasive that you don't allow a pitcher to go out there on his own shield. And when you hear the pitcher say, I already knew I wasn't because of a pitch count, like that's in your mind. That means you weren't even focused on getting a no-hitter. You weren't even locked in. You weren't even dialed in. You knew the opportunity and chance wasn't going to happen because of some analytics. Like, man, I don't care about that. I'm trying to make history.
Did you ever play in a no-hitter?
No. I've never been a part of a no-hitter. Nope. Not at all. I've been on a team that I didn't. Well, I guess I was part of it. I was on a team that got no hit, but I was injured. But I was on the team. Yeah.
Yeah, we can't count that.
Yeah, that's
because
what
I know
say.
you would take that personally.
Absolutely,
if you were on a team
man.
that got no hit, even if you didn't play, you would take that.
Ain't nobody no hit me, man. I don't care who it is. And I know people out there like, Jay, come on, man. Ain't nobody no hit me.
But you know how it is when a guy's going for a no-hitter and his teammates, there's so much tension, and it's so exciting. And baseball needs more of that.
Yes.
And I understand. You don't want guys getting hurt. They're making millions of dollars. But just give them a chance to go another couple innings. Why can't we?
They can't throw another 15 pitches?
I don't see why not.
Take it to 110, baby.
Uh-huh.
I know your arm might not be conditioned for 110, but it doesn't sound like pitcher was upset. I mean, didn't want to go for it. He, as stated, I knew I wasn't going for it anyway. Like, I don't want my players thinking that way. I want you, if you got to go out there and throw 150 pitches, I'd rather your mind be mentally programmed for that and me pull you than you come into the clubhouse and you see analytically like, oh, Skip only got me down for 95 pitches a day. Like, what? That's weird.
Yeah. Can I even, hey, look, I'm going to leave you in.
That's weird.
Don't want you to get hurt. I want you to throw fastballs, spot them, but I don't want to throw any breaking stuff, and we'll see. I mean, isn't that better than just you're out?
Yes. It's almost reversed. This is the things you were told when you were 10. Don't throw any curveballs that are going to hurt your elbow.
Right.
What, man? No, I'm trying to throw. At that point, we were calling them drop balls and stuff. We were trying to figure out what the name was.
All right. Happy anniversary of one of the weirdest days in sports history.
Shouts out Brock Purdy and the hate.
Yeah. And tomorrow, Drapes is back with us. Thanks for
allegedly
listening. We'll be back with you tomorrow. We've got Infinity Radio Network next on Sactown Sports.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.